You're listening to 95.9 FM, KMPN Burnett, keeping him close by to Burnett, Marble Falls, and all the surrounding area. Now, from the ministries of the KHCB Network and Camp Peniel of Marble Falls, welcome to a special presentation. This 95.9 FM features the varsity football game of the week with the Burnett Bulldogs. Joined in as play-by-play announcer Mark Edmondson brings all the action and highlights of another weekend of Burnett Bulldog High School football. He is joined by Roy Kaiser in order to give all the details of tonight's contest. For those of you who want to hear the regular programming of the KHCB network, go to khcb.org and listen via the internet or download the free KHCB app to your smartphone or tablet. Now it's time to bring you all the action of tonight's contest on 95.9 FM. So here's Mark Edmondson and Roy Kaiser.
Mark Edmondson and Roy Kaiser it is. Welcome to another year of Burnett Bulldog football on KMPN 95.9 FM and BTXSportsOnline.com. We appreciate you joining us. Nothing like getting ready to the last very second before we're ready to go on the air, but always new challenges, and we are so appreciative of you being with us tonight. I can't tell you how I've been looking forward to this for weeks now. I got some changes going on too. I'm back in the Burnett CISD school district. We'll talk about that. We have Damon Byerly here in the room with us. That video feed can be seen on the Burnett Athletic YouTube channel, our audio feed going through that as well. And again, getting joined by our coach Roy Kaiser. It is exciting to be back. The Bulldogs coming off of an outstanding season last year. Going 2 rounds, by-district championship, 8-4 on the season, a big signature win over Davenport, but they lost a lot of seniors, a lot of questions to be answered. But you see, and we're going to get to hear about this later, the culture of this team, really you see the difference in it, and they're looking to build on that great season last year. But as I said, a lot of questions. Coach Kaiser, bring you in here. Always the first part of the year brings those challenges and all the excitement of a new year. But this one, I also as a new head coach with Coach Spear taking over for Coach Wood. So a lot of things yet to be figured out, but that kind of adds to the excitement.
Well, you're right, Mark, and when a lot of things are new, that adds a little bit more anxiety and nervousness to things. I was telling my wife that before I left. I don't know exactly what to expect. We've seen one scrimmage here and against Robinson, and kids look good. But there are so many new things. We have a bunch of new coaches, a new head coach. We've got a new administration at the upper levels, and so a lot of things are new. But we're still the old guys doing this, and I'm looking forward to another year of high school football and getting to call it with you, Mark.
You know, and I want to say this because it really does feel like being at home. I retired 2 years ago, got to do the football games the last couple of years. I've had a chance to come back in a different role, but at the high school, it felt like home the first day I was back on campus, and really excited to be here. And all the people, here in the booth tonight helping out as we do. We're now still on BTXSportsOnline.com, thanks to Chad Nelson. But just so many people, Philip Molina, Matt here in the room helping us out, and, of course, Damon. But it just feels like it's back where it's kind of supposed to be after a couple of years' absence and not getting the day-to-day. So I get to know the kids better, and that's exciting for me as we call these games. But, it's football right now. The neat thing is this is happening all over the state. Again, the Friday Night Lights, you can put all the cliches together, but it really does bring communities together, and it just makes for just a special event that I don't think anywhere else in the world than you can say. And I know football is great in a lot of places, but Texas, it is special.
It is special, and it's special to get to open the season here at home in the confines of Bulldog Field. And looking at about an 87-degree night right now with 30 minutes before kickoff, and a good football team coming in to match up with the Bulldogs in the first game.
And got some interesting players. Two sons of a former NFL player on this Lago Vista team. We'll talk more about that again. I want to thank all you for tuning in. Thanks, KMPN. I mentioned Chad, Dan Wales back at the station tonight, helping us get everything fit together. Again, we're going through YouTube. You can actually see it there as well. That's separate than the video channel, but you can still go to btxsportsonline.com and find the games there anywhere on the World Wide Web. And then KMPN 95.9 FM here in the Burnett Marble Falls, and it's got a great signal it carries out. And what a tremendous group of people they are to help us again with this year's broadcast. So we got young ones already on the field, the cheerleaders in Highlandettes, I believe that is too, yes, with some young ones again talking about the community. I know they're going to have a big flag unrolling here in a little bit. It's just, again, just so many sights and sounds to it before you ever get to the football game, which is, we will get in on that focus in a minute. Again, we have a new head coach in Coach Ben Spear. Well, shout out, I got to talk to him. I know his folks listen in from Dalhart. And so if they haven't tuned in yet, I hope they do before the night's over, and I bet they will. And, of course, Coach Wood did a tremendous job. He's moved on to a college level. Ben Spear was his defensive coordinator. I think that's going to be important for this team, the consistency we're going to see with that.
I think it'll be a great, smooth transition. And I was thinking about Coach Wood earlier today, and I bet he's listening in for Coach Spear's first game as a head coach.
All right, so again, let me give you some little details before we go. We'll take our first break here in a moment and kind of get ourselves set. No matter what, I can think about what I'm going to say. I can prepare for it. But when the time comes, the adrenaline, you can just feel it go through as the first opening night of the season always brings that. Just that extra special feeling to it. The Bulldogs were 8-4 last year, 4-1 in district, part of the district championship, won a by-district championship. Lago Vista 7-5, and they were 3-2 in their district. Also went to the playoffs. They are a Division 4 to Division 2 4A. While Burnett, of course, Division 4A, Division 1. But anyway, should make for an interesting night of football to start the season. Also, again, want to remind you that the video feed will start up here in a little bit, and that's on the Burnett Athletic YouTube channel, and we'll be having that feed, our audio feed, go through that on all the home games as well. So all the excitement of opening kickoff is here tonight, all again around the state of Texas here. It will be the Burnett Bulldogs and the Lago Vista Vikings on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM.
Andrea Herzer suffers from a rare condition known as chronic regional pain syndrome.
It causes insomnia because of the excruciating pain. And I would tell my husband, it feels like I'm dying.
Despite the challenges caused by her condition, Andrea's faith in Jesus Christ gives her the confidence to face each day.
Replacing that fear with the soundness and assurance of Christ really gave me what I needed to persevere.
While Andrea's physical condition has no cure, she already knows the spiritual healing that comes through Jesus Christ. Here's Billy Graham.
All the many spiritual diseases that can touch a man can be healed. The moment you put your trust in Christ, the cure has already begun.
If you'd like to know more about that.
It's week number 1 and the Coach Ben Spear Show, head coach of the Bulldogs. A new season always brings changes, and first is your move from defensive coordinator to head coach. Please share your thoughts as you start this journey.
Well, it's an exciting moment for myself and my family. It's something that we've always dreamed about being able to do as being a head coach and being able to hire young new coaches and having more of influence with the boys. And we're thrilled about it, but it also brings a lot of new responsibilities. Some you're ready for, some you aren't. Whether it's the emails or calls or texts, there's constant behind the scenes activity going. And, all in all, you just kind of like to I just want to coach football and coach kids again, and not have to deal with all the others. But we know that's part of the responsibility and the requirement. And like I said, and Coach Wood did a great job kind of getting this ball rolling, and we did it together. And then he kind of handed me the keys when he retired. And so my job is to keep it heading in the right direction and don't crash the car.
The Bulldogs are coming off an excellent season, a by-district championship. Are goals important to set as a new season begins?
Absolutely. You have new kids. You have a different leadership council. You have different captains. And then, we don't want to just say we want to win another district championship or we want to win another playoff game. It needs to be specific for each year because each team is different. And when we had our players lockdown meeting, this group came up with their own goals of what they want to do this season. Yeah, we'd love to win another share of a district title and a by-district championship, but they came up with some other goals that are just unique to this 2024 group.
The Bulldogs face the Lago Vista Vikings to start the season. What can you tell us about the Vikings?
Vikings, we always played them in the past as a scrimmage, and they were a first scrimmage usually, and they're pretty good. They're fairly good up front. Not as big as imposing as they've been in the past. They've always had several guys and some fullbacks and tight end type guys that were just real physical and as a hard matchup for us. I thought we always played well with them and matched up with effort and skill in the back end. This year they've got a couple of guys that are pretty young up front. Quarterback is a decent skilled. He can get out of the pocket, move a little bit. They've also got a commit to Texas Tech at wide receiver. He's Swade Griffin. He's a state champ in the hurdles. So he's got some speed and he can go. So we've got to be aware of him and where he's at and just be smart in how we handle those situations. And when they get him the ball, we gotta tackle quickly, get him on the ground quickly so he didn't break loose. So they do several things. They have some option looks, some old triple option looks with the veer, and then they can run some other counter options they have. And I think that goes back to the Coach Phillips and his where he came from with his father, and they ran a lot of that back in the day. So we expect to see several things from them, and then of course there's always the unknown of what they've been working on because it is week one, and so we haven't seen all they can do, and I'm sure they've got some tricks up their sleeves, as do we.
I know your predecessor, as you mentioned, Coach Wood, and you often speak about the culture of the team. What does that look like, and why is it important for this team?
Well, culture sets the foundation for everything in a program, and it's up to us as coaches to, first of all, we've got to define it, okay, and then we've got to set that bar, and then we've got to hold everyone to those standards. And Coach Wood is a big culture guy, and I believed in what he was doing at Shallow Water, and that brought us to Burnett when, this is my fourth year here, and we came with him 3 years ago. Because I believed in the culture and what he was establishing, and I know people have seen the change. We didn't really call it culture, changing the culture. We didn't define it like that. We just said this is their expectations, and this is what we want to do with this program going forward. And several people like to define it that, and they're not wrong. But it was more of the expectations of the parents, the community, and the players and the coaches coming along, and this is what Bulldog football needs to look like from here on out. This year's our team model we've chosen is called Be the One, and it's very important to us and to our players, and I've shared that with them when we came up with it, and it was just, man, there's so much going on in the world today, and we see a lot of wrong. We see the way it should be, we know the way it should be, but we don't take that next step and step up. We're not stepping up to be the one, to make the difference. We're hoping somebody else does, because thankful, because that's hard. That's hard to step up and say, no, that's wrong. I see evil in the world. I see wrong in the world, whether it's in the classroom, the locker room, the field, and the town, okay, across our nation. We see this week in, week out, and are we going to be the one that steps up and says, that's not how we should do it? And we need to lead by that, lead by example. And so we've really challenged the boys that you need to be the one. Be the one that makes a difference. Be the one that steps up for those and fight for those, who can't fight for themselves, who can't make that decision. Rescue others out of situations that are bad, that aren't good for kids, aren't good for teammates, aren't good for classmates. Be the one in class that when kids are acting up and a teacher's having a hard time or a hard day, that they can shut it down and say, we're not going to do that. And the thing is about it, Mark, this, is all it takes is one. Kids know right from wrong. They know it. But sometimes it just takes one with the courage to stand up and say, no, that's not right. The others will fall in line and they'll agree. And so that's what we have. And you'll see it, BT and the number one. You'll see that around on a lot of the things we have. And that's what that represents. So that's for us and who we want to be kind of with our culture this year. And it's a challenge. It's a challenge with the kids and players nowadays, because basically we all want to be liked, and we'd rather be liked than be right, or we'd rather be liked than put in a place where we have to stand up and fight against, and I say fight is not something physical, but as something that is, I see the truth, I know the truth, I need to speak the truth, and I need to get others to do the same.
I appreciate it so much. Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back with you live. Just a great talk with Coach Spear to get his thoughts. Really got to spend some good time with him, and I appreciated him giving up that time during the week here to share with us. And so, again, there are going to be changes, but I think you're going to see, again, a lot of the same types of things. I think that will also go into the offense and defense as well. You're not going to see radical changes, but those subtle differences. I liked how he said there might be a few surprises tonight, so we'll kind of have to see. Coach would like to take some chances at times, and so it is. To me, the consistency, as I said a while ago, very important for this team. We've talked about it. The Bulldogs last year was I forget now exactly, but it had been a number of years before since they had made the playoffs, and then to have the by-district championship, and then what you want to do as a team is, of course, build on that.
Exactly, and I think we were looking at close to 10 that we were looking at playoffs, and so I know there's a great deal of excitement, and I know the football is going to be what it is, and I think the kids are going to be prepared. Their coaches are smart, and they're doing a good job from what I see. But I also know what Coach Spear was talking about with the classroom. I see it in my classes. They're sitting in the front of the class, and they're paying attention, and they're engaged in what we're doing in class. And so he's got them focused on being a student athlete and not an athlete student.
And it does, as you said, it shows, and it matters to the school as well. I mean, no doubt about it. It has a tremendous impact. And this is another thing. Get back in the season, you start getting those texts in. Please, if you're out there and want to let us know. I love being able to get shout-outs. They have a Viking boat. Mark is my friend from Goldthwaite. Appreciate you joining us, checking in the start of the season. We're going to have to talk a bit about our district later on in the night. It is a district that will be talked about a lot. No doubt one of the best in the state when you have to top it off, preseason number one Stephenville to start the list in the district. And so there's going to be a lot of exciting football. But, yes, the Vikings have their Viking ship. I don't think I've ever seen one.
I have
That's
not
pretty
seen one of those
cool,
either.
as they're run through. So we're going to go ahead and we'll get the Burnett offensive starters here. Again, changes. We've got back at quarterback, though, with some experience. Rhett Murray did a really nice job last year. Early on in the season, it was a little bit of a battle, but Murray took control of that and had a tremendous season for the Bulldogs. He'll be starting at quarterback. Running back Chris Kasner, who got to a lot of carries last year, so he steps into that starting role at running back. The wide receivers, and this is a big area, I think, the Bulldog, obviously losing Jones to graduation, a big player like that, going to have to try to fill in that spot, but this to me is one of the real question marks. Who's going to step up at wide receiver? The starters, Matthew Williams, Aiden Sanchez, Colt Stanford, and Peyton Lopez. Now, the offensive line, I think this could be a real big key for the Bulldogs. We talk about it every year, but they've got some experience, a little more depth, I think, than they've had. The starting line will be Shane Ikonen, Calvin Hubbard, Jonathan Ryder, Nathan Torres, Johnny Sharon, and that to me, can this team? We ran the ball. We were a very balanced team at times last year, and I thought it made a huge difference.
No doubt. And they're going to have to do that again this season. Moving to the defensive side, with Coach Spear moving from the DC to head coach, Jordan Husingfeld is the new defensive coordinator, but they're going to keep the 3-4 alignment. And starting for the Bulldogs, it looks like we're going to have 3 returning starters from last year. And just like on the offense, Mark, we're going to have to fill the shoes of some big tacklers that have graduated. So trying to do that tonight for the Bulldogs at end is Noah Billick and Nathan Torres. And then the nose guard is Holden Valdez. In the linebacker spots, outside linebacker Josiah Coronado. You'll remember him running the football last year pretty effectively. Chris Kasner, Riley Howell, and Marcus Pimentel seeing some action starting out tonight at offensive linebacker. In the secondary, number 5 at the corner, Matthew Williams, and number 6, Aiden Sanchez. And then at the safeties, number 10, Trevin Park. You'll remember that last name. And then Colt Stanford, also a starter last year.
Yeah, that is going to be a big key. Lost a lot of, as you said, those tackles in the middle. But who's going to step up? Again, younger Park stepping in a role that his brother just did a tremendous job at. And we always talked about a little undersized, but you always know he was going to be in the middle of a play. And so, you hope that role is filled. But those are big question marks as you come into a season for this Bulldog team. For the Lago Vista Vikings, the offense quarterback Trip Henderson, running back Noah Arambula. Now, again, the wide receiver, Swade Griffin, he is the one who gets all the attention, the son of Cedric Griffin, former UT, was on that national championship team, I believe, and then went to the NFL. His brother's also on the team, a younger brother, junior, but Swade, the senior, state hurdling champion as well. So he's going to be a big key to watch. Matthew Perkey, wide receiver, Brock Morton, and Jason May. The Lion, Tristan Tell, Joe Stark, John Seltzer, and Jackson Cook.
The Lago
Bulldogs
Vista
coming onto the field, as they
Yes, sir.
run in. Black pants, green jersey tops with good big white numerals on top so we can see from a distance. I like to see those on white on green.
Defensively for the Vikings, they're going to deploy a 4-3 alignment with the 2 ends, Hudson Chester and Cole Myers, and the tackles, Jax Zureb and number 89, who is not on our roster. We don't have a name for him. They didn't even name him when they gave him the roster to us. Linebackers, Brooks Jackson, DJ Dombach, and Aiden Vasquez. The cornerbacks, the 2 Griffin brothers, Cedric and Swade. And safeties, Corbin Jackson and Michael Helton. And I've heard a few different things, and you heard Coach Spears say that Swade Griffin is a tech commit. the internet has him as decommitting to Texas Tech and a hard commit to Arizona. So that's what we believe is happening, at least today.
Both teams are on the field, about to have the national anthem. I do think, you mentioned the brothers at cornerback, so to me this could be a game that, just your thoughts, do we start running it? Obviously, big athletes on the outside. Is that something, or?
There's two theories of thought there. Do you just attack them and hope you get, you wear them out and say, we're not afraid of you, we're coming at you, or you stay away from them? And so in my quick interviews with coaches and kids, they don't appear to be scared of him. And, if you have a Division I football commit, then he's going to be able to do some things. But I know the coaches have planned for that. And, what I noticed on the internet through highlights from last year where quarterbacks would stay away from him, and then Griffin on the other side would end up getting interceptions because he knows that they're going to throw his way.
I'll let you get we're going to have the coin toss first. I'll let you get Lago Vista. The Bulldogs captains are Marcus Pimentel, Rhett Murray. Also, make sure I got Jonathan Ryder and Chris Kasner. Yes, Chris Kasner there. So Pimentel, Murray, Kasner, and Ryder, the four captains for the Bulldogs.
For the Vikings, number 5, Caden Coughlin, number 7, Cole Myers, 8, Swade Griffin, and 73, Tristan Tell.
Already have the big U.S. flag unfurled, getting ready for the national anthem. I believe that's the Interact High School VHS Interact Club going to be out there, or help with some Rotary folks as well. Beautiful there in the end zone as we wait for the coin toss. And looks like the Bulldogs won it, but I think, and they do defer, so Lago Vista will get the opening kickoff. Bulldogs will get the second half kickoff. Going to defend the west goal. Yes. All right. So we have the coin toss. Bulldogs won. They defer. And now we're going to have the national anthem. So we'll go ahead and take this break. When we come back, hard to believe it will be kickoff 2024. The Burnet Bulldogs and the Lago Vista Vikings on BTX Sports Online and KMPN 95.9 FM.
From the files of Unshackled, Pacific Garden Mission presents Free Indeed.
I used to be a liar and a thief who was seldom sober, but that's not true any longer, and I'd like to tell you how it happened. I was already an accomplished liar at the age of 10 when my father suddenly went blind. This was during the Depression, and my folks lost their home. I became moody and started drinking in high school. By the time I married Anita, I was leading a double life, concealing the dark side of my nature. However, as my drinking got worse, I had to lie more often to cover my failures and the unpaid bills. One Christmas, I stayed away for 3 days, and when I did go home, I threw all my presents into the furnace. In desperation, I decided to change my life by joining the Navy. I wrote letters to my wife telling her I'd given up drinking, but that was a lie. In 1945, I served aboard a destroyer escort when kamikaze suicide pilots attacked us during a chapel service on deck. I prayed that God would help me stay on the gun and not run from the fight. God answered that prayer and kept me safe as well. After the war, I was just as bad as ever, embezzling money from the job, then borrowing from my old mother to repay the theft. I finally turned to AA because I had to quit drinking or end up in jail. Then I began reading the Bible month after month. All that stood in the way of my salvation was doubt about the virgin birth, but I prayed, and God helped my unbelief. What a difference Christ has made in my life, and he'll do the same for you. I'm Carl Aldrich. If the Son therefore shall make you free, you shall be free indeed.
If you would like to be free from the weight of sin by receiving Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, or maybe you have questions about it, call 1-888-NEED-HIM right now. Free Indeed is a production of Pacific Garden Mission, 1458 South Canal Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60607. Email unshackled@pgm.org.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back with you live. Beautiful presentation of the giant U.S. flag here in the middle of the field. The Esprit de Corps performing the national anthem. Again, you can also watch the video feed on the Burnett Athletic YouTube channel. Our audio feed will go through that on the home games, thanks to Damon. And again, on BTXSportsOnline.com, like it has been for years, you can go to it, and there is a feed there. It is a YouTube, but there's no video on that. It's only an audio feed. That's a separate one for us. But you can go find it. And, of course, locally on 95.9 FM. So we're getting ready for the kickoff. The Bulldogs deferred. So your final thoughts as we start the 2024 Bulldog football season, Coach Kaiser. We are ready to go.
It's going to be a great night. We've got a quality football team with a good program, good coaches in Lago Vista, and matching up with everything that's new in Burnett, Texas, and yet the tradition is here. Coach Wood and his staff did a great job to bring that back, and so we're going to continue to build on that tradition of Burnett football.
Let us know if you're out there. Check in with us. I know we've got a lot of people listening in from different places. Good crowd here in the stands as well for the Bulldog faithful. Bulldogs again wearing black pants, green jerseys with white numerals, white helmet with the Bulldog logo coming out of that. Out of the state of Texas on the side of their hat. The Lago Vista Vikings, they are in blue pants, white jerseys with blue numerals and stripes, and we're ready to go. Kicking off for the Bulldogs will be number 27, Sam Rodriguez, and he lines up the Bulldogs. And we are underway. It's a high short kick. And it's going to be returned from the 25-yard line, trying to get to the outside at the 30, knocked down at the 35. The tackle made, and welcome to Burnett Bulldog Football 2024 style on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM. They'll start the Vikings at their 36-yard line.
Really good job there by number 14, Cohen Jorplin, who turned the running back into the coverage and did not let him get outside where he might have scored, Mark.
Thank you for tuning in with us. Appreciate that. Got an update on the volleyball here when we get a chance. First play from scrimmage. Two receivers split wide left, two wide right. Single back in a pistol formation. The quarterback is Henderson. Now he sends a man in motion. That is one of the Griffin brothers. That's Cedric. He's in the slot. The up back, and there's the snap. Going to throw it out in the flat and wide open. Nobody near number 6. And they get yardage up to the 42-yard line as Matthew Perkey makes the catch. A gain of about 6, second down and 4.
He had a lot of room there because Sanchez, the Burnett cornerback, slipped about 10 yards away and couldn't really recover.
Yeah, well, maybe a little dew on the surface. I don't know. I'm looking for some answer. Second down and 4 at the 42-yard line. Man goes in motion. Henderson at quarterback, pistol formation. He's going to hand it off this time and run up the middle. Not a lot of room there. Gets to the 45. It will bring up, they say, the 44-yard line. Gain of a couple. Brings up 3rd and 2, so an early 3rd and 2 at the Viking 44-yard line. Just underway here in Burnett. Volleyball update. Burnett is up 2-0 on Llano. Thank you, Mr. Kincaid. Appreciate you checking in with us. A lot of things going on around the district. 3rd and 2. Two receivers left and right. Man goes in motion. Henderson gets the snap. It's a reverse going the other way. And they get it to the big running back or wide receiver, and then he's down the sideline. Looks like no penalties. It's going to be a reverse touchdown to Swade Griffin. So it looked like there could have been some of that holding outside, but they handed it off to the right. Griffin coming back the other way, and again, a state champion hurdler, a D1 commit, gets down the sideline and scores the first touchdown of the season. And I don't even know. Bulldogs bit on that fake a little bit, but I don't know that it would have mattered. Able to get the blocking down the sideline, and he showed his athleticism at 6-0 with the extra point to come. That was a 56-yard touchdown run by Griffin. Extra point attempt. Snap is back. Hold is good. Kick is on the way, and it is good. We're going to keep it here. It's 7-0. Lago Vista with the lead. Just a minute gone here in this. That was only a minute gone off the clock there. It's only a minute gone here in the first quarter. Well, your thoughts on that?
Well, they ran the ball on third down up the middle, and Holden Valdez did a fantastic job of shutting that down. But on the reverse, we did bite, and the cornerback and the end both crashed so hard that there was just no recovery. And, we had safeties. Stanford and Park tried to get there, but he was just too fast for him.
So it is 7-0 Lago Vista. And, it is a team game, but you can see where the athleticism of one player can make such a difference, and he did on that play. Yes, they had the blocking, but he just able to run away from everybody.
Yeah, no doubt. He's a Division I athlete. If they're really a Division I athlete, they look like it, and he's showing every bit of that.
So it was a 56-yard run on the reverse. I mean, you're just going to have somebody that you've got to know where he is at all times.
Well, and I think that's why, Sanchez slipped on second down, because they were playing pretty deep to, give some respect to his speed.
Lago Vista will kick off. They lead 7-0 here. Kickoff from the 40-yard line. High, short kick. Going to be returned from the 15 to the 20, 25. There's a hole up the middle. Got a space on the outside. Breaks a tackle at Stanford up near midfield. Colt Stanford with a nice return. Sets up the Bulldogs at about, looks like the 47-yard line. 46. I give them the 47. Bulldogs start with great field position at their own 47.
Yeah, fantastic job of blocking. They set that up right up the middle. And Stanford hit the hole and showed a little bit of speed himself and broke one tackle, but just couldn't get away from the second one.
All right, the Bulldogs offense needs to answer their first time out on the field tonight. Lago Vista took the opening drive in. Shotgun formation, empty backfield for Murray. Man goes in motion. Going to hand it off on the sweep, makes a man miss, and still on his feet. Stanford again with a good run, and he had to make a man miss in the backfield, and he gets past the 40, Lago Vista's 40, down to the 38-yard line. And that's a gain of 15, 16 yards, 16-yard gain on the run, and that was that Stanford lined up as the wide receiver, came in motion, did have to get away from a tackle in the backfield, got the big yardage. 1st and 10 at Lago Vista 38, free play. Murray looks to throw it left side, going up, and it's knocked down. They do go after Griffin, but it's incomplete. Williams. But again, we saw that last year. The Bulldogs do know how to get teams to jump off sides.
They really do. It's an amazing thing to me, and I get it, early in the year. But it happened in the playoff games.
It did, absolutely. So that'll be 5 yards of defensive offsides against the Vikings. 1st and 5 for the Bulldogs. They are in Viking territory at the 33-yard line. They trail 7-0 here, 10:23 to go. Handoff to Kasner up the middle, and tough going there. Got 4 yards, though. Good, strong run to get near the first down marker. That was 1st and 5, so it's going to be – but we have a player down, so a timeout here. So the Bulldogs get the good kick return right now. They're looking at trying to answer that score and then, give yourself a little – you say a little rest. That is one of the things we've got to talk about. We did see last year. But, again, when you were saying it and when we did the offense and defense – the Bulldogs do have to depend on players on both sides of the ball, and that does make a difference.
It does, and but the numbers are good this year. I think, the success we had, every level, freshman, JV, and varsity, the numbers are solid. You're looking at about 37 players on the varsity, and that's a good number to start the season with. But it does play into your success. Can you can you limit your two-way players and give them some rest and get them off the field a little bit?
I thought that was, one of the, well, no doubt it was one of the keys the last few years, but that last year able to do that and keep them. They were obviously in great shape, but to give them that rest late in games when we needed to come up, like a Davenport game.
True, but then you have such key, impactful players like Denton and Jones and those guys. You just couldn't get them off the field. But those are the exceptions, and you want your bigs, your big linemen, to be able to get a little bit of a rest here and there.
So the yardage was not enough for the first down. It was a gain of 4 down to the 29-yard line, but it brings up, this is to me a good go deep if you're wanting to go. They did against Griffin Swade in that first pass, but it is 2nd down and 1. Murray in shotgun. Kasner to his right, low snap. He's going to have to just fall on it, and you could get a call on that as 7 came in.
Pretty
there.
close. Yeah.
But unfortunately, this is something the Bulldogs we had did. It hurt them last year at times, but seemed really cleaned it up as the season went on. They had 2nd and 1. Now it's 3rd and 10 as a loss of 9 on the snap that went low and through the hands of Murray. So it's all the way back to the 38-yard line. And it's 3rd and 10 now. Trip receivers to the right. Murray in shotgun. Looks to throw, middle of the field. Catch is made. Tough catch, close to the first down. That was a tough catch by Matthew Williams, and he gets it to the 30. Not the first down, but picked up 9 yards, and so it'll bring up a 4th down and short, which the Bulldogs will, of course, go for. About 1.5 yards.
Really good throw, pretty accurate. There were some defenders in the area, but Murray put it right on him.
Did, and to get that catch, got hit. Good job by Williams. 4th and a long 1 or short 2. Bulldogs try to keep the drive alive. They trail 7-0. Man goes in motion. That's Pimentel with it, and he keeps it, and he's got room to the outside, bounces outside down the sideline. The 20, the 11-yard line before he's pushed out.
That's a penalty.
Hit out of bounds?
He tackled him on the track.
And that was Pimentel, right?
It was Pimentel.
Yeah, it was 11 in there, and they did switch out last year. And when you saw Pimentel, he ran a lot, and there's a big pickup. Is the flag there?
There is no flag. It's hard to believe. He picked him up and tackled him on the track.
Wow. All right, but it was on 4th and 1. They get it to the 11-yard line. That's a 19-yard gain and a 1st and 10 from the 11. Big pickup. Nicely done. Great blocking.
And a good job of not holding on the end.
Murray back in, trip receivers to the left. They've got him jump again. Free play to the end zone. Williams, he's there. Makes the catch. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Nicely done, and that was on Griffin. I tell you what, a great route run there by Matthew Williams. Williams with a couple of catches already. That one from Murray to Williams at 11-yard. We have a flag over here. That was the offsides.
Should be.
Defensive offsides, had the free play. Williams makes the catch of 11 yards from Murray. Bulldogs cut the lead 7-6 with the extra point to come. Nicely done. That was really, Murray threw it up there right to where he needed to. Williams had to wait just a second and did a nice job keeping his feet down and getting the catch.
Yeah, it was a really good throw. Put it in the corner of the end zone where Griffin couldn't get to it.
Extra point attempt to come here. Snap is back. Kick is on the way, and it is no good. Off to the left. So it's 7-6. We'll take a short break. We come back. 8:28 to go in the first quarter. Laga Vista 7, the Bulldogs 6 on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMP and 95.9 FM.
Man, linemen don't get enough credit. Those dudes sacrifice their bodies by putting them in the way of linebacker locomotives. Also, someone else can score. But that's nothing compared to the ultimate blocker. Jesus, God's Son, sacrificed himself on a cross so we wouldn't have to pay for all the junk we've done that separates us from God. When you begin a relationship with him, he blocks the punishment that we all deserve for choosing our own way instead of his way. Why not start that relationship now by calling 888-NEED-HIM? Because you really do need him.
Mark Edmondson and Roy Kaiser back with you live. Bulldogs do answer. The extra point's no good, so they trail 7-6. Williams, we talked about stepping up at wide receiver. It looked good on that drive.
He did look good on that. He caught 2 passes to keep that drive going, and then the touchdown. So that might be a good connection between Murray and Williams this year. Mark, you talked a little bit about the district. The district has changed this year, and so some of the members of our new district would be the Brownwood Lions, the Lampasas Badgers, Stephenville Yellow Jackets, and the Marble Falls Mustangs. And I'll give you some of those matchups tonight when we get a second.
Thank you. Burnett to kick off. Rodriguez to kick from the 40. 7-6 Bulldogs trail by 1 here in the first quarter. High kick. Return from the 16-yard line. And hit hard. Good tackle at about the 25 or 26-yard line. I think that was Kasner.
That's Kasner. That's what he does well. I was a little bit worried we kicked it off again to Morton, who had a good run back a while ago, and we did it again, but Kastner made sure he
got back there before he ever got a chance to really survey the field, came through there. So 1st and 10, so both teams scored on their opening drives. Lago Vista starts their second drive at their own 26-yard line. Do appreciate you being here tonight. Opening night 2024, 2 receivers to the right. 1 man goes in motion for the Vikings. Pistol formation, high snap. They hand it off to the running back. He's hit but stays on his feet and keeps the feet moving there. And that is Noah Arambula. Tough run after contact. He gets up to the 32-yard line. 6 yards on the carry, 2nd down and 4. He was hit early but just kept going.
Yeah, he was hit early and got away from Alejandro Ochoa, but Holden Valdez able to bring him down.
2nd and 4 from the 32-yard line. Henderson at quarterback to throw. Pressure comes. He pulls it down, looks to throw on the run, and gets the completion. The running back bailed him out, but he's hit hard, but he's going to get the first down. Henderson did a good job. They had a shot at him to take him down, but he bought time, and he gets the first down up to the 39-yard line, gain of 7.
Yeah, it was really nice job by Henderson to avoid the tacklers, step up into the pocket of the defenders and make a completion.
1st and 10 at the 39, their own 39. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Henderson rolls to the left, looks to throw, pulls it down, now throws it up. He saw pressure coming. It's incomplete. That was a dangerous pass there at the end because he hesitated. He had to double pump because of the pressure coming, so 2nd and 10.
Well, he was throwing that away, Mark. He was looking for Griffin, number 8, but Trevin Park did a fantastic job of getting physical with Griffin, and he met him on his route and held him a little bit, no call, and the quarterback Henderson just had to throw that away.
Thank you, Coach Messer, for your input. We'll leave it there. Man goes in motion, 2nd and 10 for the Vikings. Snap, they're going to keep it. Now the pitch is on the ground. It's still on the ground, picked up by the running back, but he'll end up with maybe about a half a yard loss. That play was going nowhere fast. The Vikings lucky to keep the football there, bring up a big 3rd down and a long 10, short 11.
That ball saw a lot of people's hands on that play.
It was going to be that option. They do run the triple option at times, and it didn't look very smooth there. But now it's 3rd and 10. Bulldogs trying to get the Vikings off the field. Bulldogs trail 7-6, 6:37 to go, first quarter here in Burnett. Trip receivers to the right, 1 to the left, short side of the field, pistol formation. The running back was moving, no call. They looked to throw. They got a man wide open out in the flat. Nobody saw him, and he's going to pick up the first down. They ran everybody off, but the running back was moving forward before the snap of the ball. But it's going to be an 11-yard gain. They fooled the defense there as that number 2, I believe, was at 6.
It was 2 that caught
Morton came underneath, and nobody was there.
Yeah, and of course everybody went with Swade Griffin, and that's Another part about having a really good player is he attracts a lot of attention, and you can use him as a decoy.
12-yard gain to the 49-yard line in Burnett territory. Vikings keep the drive alive. Bulldogs can't get them off the field on another third down. It's going to be Henderson keeps it. Good open field tackle. Henderson, he had nowhere to go. Is that Park coming in?
That was Park. So we've got a little in the genes with the Park defenders.
He was 10 too, wasn't he?
He was, I believe so.
Because I saw 10 going through there. That memory came right back. And it is a good open field tackle, 2nd down and 11, a loss on that play.
I like it when the brothers keep the same number.
2nd down and 11, ball at the 50-yard line. The running back, Arambula, to the right of Henderson. 2 receivers, right and left. They're going to throw. No, he's running the option, trying to get to the outside. Henderson turns it up, and he lowers the shoulder and able to get positive yards. And he gets to the 43-yard line. That's a gain of 6, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 4 in Burnett territory. Thought they were going to get to him quicker, and he just kind of found a little space.
Well, I admire Henderson there for running that same play on the other side after he got hit so hard by Park the last play.
3rd down and 4. Ball at the Burnett 43-yard line. Pistol formation again. Henderson to throw. Middle of the field. Catch is made, and another slip. And then it's Morton again, and he's going to pick up good yardage past the 30 down to the 25-yard line. A gain of about 17. And it'll be 1st and 10 at the 25. Vikings keep the drive going.
Just can't keep our feet, and just a little bit of a slip, and that gives him a big 1st down.
1st and 10 at the Burnett 25. Bulldogs trail 7-6 here in the first quarter. That's where you need one of those turnovers. 2 receivers to the left, short side of the field. Running back to the left of Henderson. Henderson in the pocket, has time to throw, middle of the field, and it's knocked down. Incomplete. I was looking down. I think it was knocked down. They almost come up with a pick.
It's a good thing that it was knocked down. Because Sway Griffin was wide open in the end zone.
2nd down and 10 at the Burnett 25 for the Vikings. 4:01. Clock stopped on that incompletion here in the first quarter. 2 receivers right. Man goes in motion. Henderson in shotgun. Gets the snap. He's going to hand it off. Hit quickly. The running back, Arambula, not much room there. Maybe to the 24-yard line. Gain of 1. Now, this is 3rd down and 9. 3rd down and 9 here for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs have had some trouble stopping them on 3rd down here in this first quarter. Trail 7-6.
Yeah, the Bulldogs need to step up right here and make something
get somebody
happen.
in the backfield.
That would be good. We need to push them back. Their field goal kicker looked like he had a pretty strong leg.
So 3rd and 9 from the Burnett 24-yard line for the Vikings. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Henderson rolls to the right to throw out in the flat. Catch is made at about the 13-yard line, and they just ran the out. That was I think Perky's first catch. Perky, maybe one other, but he gets the catch in the 1st down. We have not been able to stop him on 3rd down. That's the key here in this early going.
Yeah, and they've kind of picked on our cornerbacks a little bit, and Valdez has some experience over there.
But we're off the ball. Now it's 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Vikings driving, pistol formation. Henderson going to hand it off. Big hole. That's going to walk him in. Arambula, nobody touched him. They got the trap working right. They had the right call, and Arambula takes it in from, what was that, 13 yards out.
Yes.
Was Arambula. Yes, it was the running back. And that handoff, that option, no, just a big open hole on the right side, and it's 13-6, extra point to come. Volleyball wins in 3 against Llano. Thank you so much for that update. Congratulations to the Lady Dogs.
Sounds like the freshmen and JV both won too, Mark.
Here's the extra point attempt. Snap is back. Hold is good. And the extra point's good. We'll go ahead and keep it here. Makes it 14-6. So Right now, both offenses doing what they want to do, but the Bulldogs defense have made some plays, but the key, not getting them off the field on those third downs, it's cost them. They trail 14-6, 3:10 to go first quarter.
Yeah, we had a chance around the 35 to get them off the field and just couldn't get it done.
So that was both touchdowns have come on the run. Of course, that first one was the big play. This one, an extended drive. And it was number 24, Noah Arambula, with the run of 13 yards. Extra point was good.
Well, hopefully the Bulldogs can do the same thing they did last time, but it looks like the defenses are trying to figure things out, at least early on in this game.
Do you feel early in the season that is what they say, does one have an advantage over the other? Or
I've always thought it was the defense. They can react to the football, and they're coming to get you. And offenses usually have to work out their timing, but tonight it seems to be the opposite.
So Laga Vista has scored on their first two drives. Bulldogs scored on their one offensive drive. Missed the extra point. Kickoff here. High short kick. Fair catch called for and made. That's a nice job. Smart play there by Charles Edwards. Give Bulldogs another good starting position. This at about the 34-yard line.
Yeah, it was a really good job by Edwards to have that fair catch, give him plenty of room. The guys protected him, and we have possession of the football. See if we can go score.
It is opening night. They give him the 35-yard line of the 2024 football season on KMPN 95.9 FM, BTXSportsOnline.com. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Murray in shotgun. Man goes in motion. They swing the pass out. Catch is made. Got a blocker out in front. That's the man who went in motion. That was Billick, who went in motion, got a block. The catch was made. Was that 16, I believe?
Was it 18?
18. Stanford again. Yep. Stanford, I'm sorry. Stanford picks up about 6, though, so a nice play. Just a lot of pieces come together there, so run well. They're at the 41-yard line, a gain of 6, second down and 4. Two receivers to the left. Murray in shotgun, has Kasner to his left, has an up back on 2nd and 4. Murray to throw, has a man open. Williams, nice job of just stopping and waiting. Pass right on the money, going to pick up yardage to the 48-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain and a first down. I like to get that pickup of that first down right away.
Great play, a lot of room there to get the ball to Sanchez.
1st and 10 at the 48. Bulldogs trail 14-6, 2:15 to go, first quarter. Snap back, going to hand it off to Kasner's, looking for room, finds a hole, nice cut, and he's going to pick up 10, 11 yards. Well, he read the blocks perfect, didn't he, there? And he picks up 11 yards and a first down into Viking territory.
That's tough running. Used a lot of speed, hit the hole perfectly, and then dove for that first down.
Good blocking, too, because they really set that spot. They blocked out, had that inside coverage, and he just found that hole. 1st and 10 at the Viking 42-yard line. Murray looks to the sideline. Almost had him jump there again.
That's Lopez on that right side with a good block on the last play.
Kasner shifts over to the right of Murray. 1st and 10. Man goes in motion. They're going to hand it off to Kasner up the middle. Good hole. Nice blocking at the point of attack. Good little skip in the middle by Kasner to open up a little more room. Gets to the 36-yard line. That's a gain of 6 on first down. Moving the ball well right now. You like to see that consistent, not setting back.
No, and the line is doing a good job. Kasner has 3 carries and has 20 yards already.
2nd down and 4. 1:08. And clock runs here in the first quarter. Lago Vista 14, Bulldogs 6. Trip receivers to the left. Murray with Coronado in the backfield, hands it to him, and he finds his way. A taller back. Coronado did carry the ball quite a bit last year as a sophomore. Picks up the first down just enough. Looked like maybe needed 4. Got 4.5. Down to the 32, maybe 4.
That's what
1st and 10.
Yeah, we'll give him 4. You got the first down.
That's what I want. I think he'll be a big key, too. They're going to have to use him. Kasner's going to carry the ball a lot, but Coronado really showed some skill at running back as well. He's in the backfield again with Murray, 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Murray to throw on the out, and that one little bit off of Stanford again out there, I believe, and he kind of threw it a little bit behind him, and Stanford tried to reach for it, couldn't. 2nd and 10 on the incompletion.
Yeah, he went on an out route towards the sideline, and Murray just threw the ball a yard behind him.
He had some room over there.
He did, and he had Griffin on him.
Yep. 2nd and 10 at the 32. Clock stopped with that incompletion. 25 seconds to go, first quarter. Murray in shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Short side of the field. Snap. Going to hand it off to Coronado again, looking for space. Nice cut to the outside at the 25 down to the 23-yard line. A really nice, patient run. He picks up 9. Josiah Coronado with a nice run. He followed his blockers and picks up 9.
I really like the way he runs. He uses a combination of speed and some shiftiness, and he's tall, and I really like his approach to attacking the defense.
3rd and 1. Pimentel checks back into the game at quarterback on 3rd and 1.
Well, we know what that can mean.
2 wide receivers to the right. Got a big back in the backfield. Man goes in motion. They hand it off to Coronado. He has to follow blockers again, and really that was bottled up. There was a block that was just kind of not quite there, but Coronado finds room to get to the sideline and picks up yardage for the first down to the 17, which is a 6-yard gain. First down. But again, really, and a smart run there is if he goes back inside, he probably gets hit, finds the sideline, gets the first down.
He's pretty instinctive.
All right, and now we've got Pimentel in the slot, Murray at quarterback. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, but they're going to hand it off to Coronado, and he just pushing forward a little power as I think they're going to take it down to the second quarter. It was a gain of about 4 to the 14. Maybe 3, and that is the buzzer for the first quarter. We'll take a break. At the end of 1, got some fireworks here early. Bulldogs driving. They trail 14-6 to the Lago Vista Vikings on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM.
Hi, I'm Johnny Erickson Tata, and we say it all the time to each other. God bless you. And if you're like me, you mean it. You really do. And God means it too. He wants to bless his children. Like when you open the Bible, the first thing God does as you read is to bless you. The very first psalm is all about the man God blesses. It says, "Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers." Blessed is that person. Oh, friend, it's God's disposition to bless you. He is inclined to shower pleasure and gladness on your dry, shriveled soul. It's something God delights to do out of the greatness of his heart. So, my blessed friend, pass it on today. May it be in your disposition to bless others. Let it be the measure of your character as you extend God's blessings and shower favor and mercy on those all around you who need his touch.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back with you live. Again, on the Burnett Athletic YouTube channel, the video feed. Damon Byerly, our audio goes through that at home games. Appreciate allowing us to join him on that. We start the second quarter. Bulldogs looking to answer. They trail 14-6. Both teams have scored in their possessions. This is the second possession for the Bulldogs. Need to put it in. It is 2nd down and 7 as we start the second quarter. Murray in shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Kasner on the delay and works his way into about the 10, maybe the 9. I think let's see where they end up marking it. Which side do they give the ball? I think the 9. Good job of working his way in. That's a gain of 5 on 2nd down. It is 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2. Bulldogs need to get this in. As Lago Vista has scored on their 2 offensive drives. Kasner again to the left of Murray. Man goes in motion. Now stops, hand off to Kasner. And he again looking for room, but what a strong push. He was kind of stopped, and he just pushed through to get the first down. That's just a good, strong run to the 6-yard line, a gain of 3, and more importantly there, a first down. Pimentel's going to check back in at quarterback. It is 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. Bulldogs down by 8.
Really, really good job by Kastner keeping his legs moving and forcing himself into those extra yards.
No big backs here. Noah Billick in the backfield. Pimentel has got blockers. He's looking to run. They've spread it out. He has to go back inside, and they read that pretty well and lost a yard, it looks like, as they went to the right side with the big backs. But Laga Vista defense came up strong.
Well, the backs did a good job. They moved the line backwards, but there was just so much pursuit by Laga Vista that Pimentel got tripped up.
Looks like the 7, so a loss of 1. 2nd and goal from the 7. Murray back in at quarterback. 14-6, Laga Vista. I want to put the score on the board here. Game 1 of the 2024 season. Kasner to the right of Murray, 2 receivers to the left. They hand it off to Lay Kasner. He gets over one man. I thought if he could keep his feet, he was heading toward the end zone, but he gets stopped at about the 3-yard line. And a gain of 4, but this will bring up as Pimentel. So right now, checking back and forth, Pimentel back in at quarterback. 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. A little high tension already.
Yeah, when you do this, you've got to make sure your quarterback knows that he's got to secure the snap.
3rd and goal. 2 backs in the backfield to the left. Man goes in motion, Kasner. But it's going to be Pimentel up the middle. Little trickery as they fake it to Kasner. Pimentel with a 3-yard touchdown run. Bulldogs cut the lead 14-12 with the extra point to come. Let's see if they go for 2. As I see Murray coming in, I believe they will. I like Kasner coming across there. That pulled the defense out a little bit. Pimentel, though, just followed right up the middle. Good, strong blocking, good, strong 3-yard touchdown run.
And we've had some success running the ball between the tackles, and so they continue to do that there with the quarterback.
And that's good to see. So it is Murray at quarterback, 2-point conversion. 2 receivers to the right. Man goes in motion. Murray, snap back, rolls, he looks to throw, has a man back of the end zone, tipped up, and he can't catch it. And that was Griffin, who was able to tip it away. It was Stanford in the back of the end zone, but just a hand on it at the last second by Griffin, and it's incomplete. Bulldogs still trail 14-12, but an important scoring drive there.
Really important to answer that, and you early on, you would like to see those 2-point conversions, work for you, but I don't know. Maybe you practiced those a lot. At this point in the year, probably not, but it was there.
Yeah,
and
I think the athleticism
you just
of Griffin
have
there.
An athlete making a play.
So that was a 3-yard touchdown run. 2-point conversion, no good.
And he might have had Marcus Pimentel when he first broke out of his route. And if he'd have thrown it right when he broke, I think he would have scored too.
So it is 14-12. Bulldogs to kick off. 9:31 to go in the second quarter in the first half. So both teams have scored on their offensive drives. Except for that first one, which was 3 plays. Been lengthy drives with that. Both teams moved down the field on those other 3. Bulldogs defense now looks to get a stop. Rodriguez will kick off from the 40. Thank you for joining us. Next week, we do have an earlier start. We'll talk about that as we travel to Georgetown Eastview. Kick on the way. Line drive kick going to be returned from the 10. At the 15, Kasner coming in there again. Couldn't get him down up to the 25, but, that really forced the back. Who was that again? That was Morton.
Number 2, yeah.
Morton. And he gets to about the 27. But Kasner changed that as well as he came through there, and Morton was well aware of him.
He was, and he kind of slipped. It looked like to me, and I'm not sure what's going on out there, but we've got to keep our feet, but it did change him to run back in the middle where he was met by a number of Bulldogs.
Start at the 27. Bulldogs defense looking for a stop. They trail 14-12, 9:20 to go here in the first half. 2 receivers to the right. Now a man goes in motion for the Vikings. Sets up as the up back. They're going to hand it off. Another big hole. Still on his feet. The running back, Aram Beulah, tough name for me to say. I apologize that. And now they've gone to running the game.
Big flag right there.
Is that one? Or
that's probably on the Bulldogs, I would think, after the play. We'll see.
Aram Ashu was still on the field, but he got past midfield. So all of a sudden they just started running. That one just off tackle, it looked like. Discussion here of the flag. The ball was out of bounds at the Burnett 44-yard line.
I know one of the goals of the coaches was to stay out of penalties.
Unsportsmanlike against Laga Vista.
Very good.
So
very good.
I don't know, a little taunting or something, but it'd still be a big play. It's from the end of the run, but good, as you said, to see the Bulldogs didn't.
Yes. Yeah, because it was, the play happened out of bounds. And, I have it might have been from the sideline itself, maybe not from the players on the field, based on what I've seen on previous plays.
So it takes it back to the Laga Vista 41. It is a first down. 1st and 10 at their own 41 now after the penalty pulled back some of that yardage. Man goes in motion. Henderson at quarterback. Gets the snap. He hands it off. No, he keeps it this time and gets positive yards. He held that for a long time.
He did.
That was a different running back in there, sorry. But he ends up picking up about 5 yards to the 46, but he did hold on to it for a long time before keeping it himself. Henderson with the run, 2nd and 5.
It's a little bit ironic, Mark, that the last game of the year last year, we had a heavy dose of quarterback running, and then the first game we've got a little bit of that too.
Henderson, he sends a man in motion, sets him up as an up back. 2 receivers to the right. In the pocket to throw, has time, middle of the field, and incomplete. It's going to be 2nd down and 6. So here's a situation where they're on their own side of the field. If you get a stop, make it. You think they'd have to punt, but this is where they have been able to keep drives alive tonight.
And it's allowed them to score 2 touchdowns because of it. So, yeah, I think until the Bulldogs prove they can get a stop, Laga Vista is going to be aggressive.
3rd and 6 from their own 46-yard line. And the Bulldogs step up and make a defensive play. 2 receivers to the left, short side of the field, 2 to the right. Henderson in shotgun for the Vikings. He's going to keep it himself, and he is hit and then pitches it late. It's on the ground. Could the Bulldog?
I don't think
did they get it back?
It,
well, then that was a forward.
Then that
you could have said that was a forward pass past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I would
They're going to
agree.
say that's a lateral.
We need an instant replay on that.
It's 4th down and 2. Is that they set it up at the 49? If they, you'd almost have to say that was forward, but it did happen real quick. But Vikings, it was on the ground, but they were able to recover. But it is at the 49-yard line.
That should have been a flag. There's no way that was behind.
It ended up in front of him. It's 4th and 2. Bulldogs trying to make a stop.
They're going to fake this.
Yeah, he's in kind of and then a timeout called by Laga Vista late. We're going to go ahead and keep it here and give the Bulldogs a defense the chance to talk about it. So it's a 4th and 2. They were dropping back kind of halfway, but I don't see them not going for it at the first game of the season when they've been able to get yardage.
They took Henderson out but left Griffin in, and I think that was going to be a direct snap to him.
Yep, I could see that. At that play, and of course we can't see it, but I'm not even sure he wasn't down. He was really coming down before he threw it late, and then it definitely looked forward there.
Yeah, it was probably hard to put all together if you're the referee.
Sure, you're just.
So we'll give a little grace there.
Yep, I agree. A little.
First game, Grace.
First half. Well,
Yeah.
Don't quote me on the second half. Do appreciate you joining us for Burnett Bulldog football. We'll be all season on BTXSportsOnline.com. Again, thanks to Chad Nelson and KMPN 95.9 FM. Dan with us tonight. All right, a 4th and 2. If you could get a stop, you'd get great field position, could turn the ball game around. Bulldogs trail 14-12. Teams back on the field. They are just in. Direct snap to Swade Griffin. 4th and 2. He's going to run to the right, and he'll get the first down. Just not a whole lot you're going to be able to do. A little blocking, and
It's too easy.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
40. But then you wonder, then why not do it every time?
Well,
I mean, it does that not? 1st and 10 at the Burnett 42-yard line for the Vikings.
you know, he hasn't touched it that
No.
often
No.
for. But again,
When
he's
one
not.
of them went for 56 yards.
yeah,
So
well, yeah, that's true.
1st and 10 for the Vikings. They convert on the 4th down. Henderson in shotgun. Pressure comes, throws it out, and the pressure made him throw it
Yeah.
early. 2nd and 10. Good.
Coronado bringing the pressure.
And I think that's what we're going to have to see here. If we force him into that, we can make him throw it early. He's shown some accuracy, but not when he's rushed like
Exactly.
that.
Exactly.
And which you can understand. Appreciate Mr. Hobbs with the shout out.
Mr. Hobbs.
Yes. As always, my dulcet tones putting him to sleep early. 2nd and 10 from the 42. Trip receivers to the left, one to the right. Pistol formation. Man goes in motion. Henderson in shotgun. He's going to hand it off up the middle, and there's a broken tackle, and going to be another first down, as Aaron Beulah points out as he picks up the yards to the 30-yard line. So that's a gain of 12, 1st and 10.
Aaron Beulah looks fresh. He is quite fast and getting through that line pretty
There's
easily.
no doubt there's skill players. Good. A lot of good-looking players on this team.
Yep. Yeah, at every position.
Trip receivers to the left, one to the right on 1st and 10. Man goes in motion to throw. Pressure comes. Can't get him down. And he throws it up, and it's caught. And somehow he stayed in bounds. I can't tell. I think he got it to number 5.
Yes.
Henderson got it to Coughlin, and he gets it down. Let's see. They're discussing, I guess not at the 15-yard line, because he was right at the sideline there. They're discussing something over there.
You think he went out of bounds first and then caught it? Nope. We're moving the chains.
Give it to him. That might have been a discussion whether he had.
Well,
but it is 1st and 10 at the 15. But we don't make a tackle on Henderson in the backfield.
Well, and that's on us. But he's pretty good at avoiding the tacklers and finding the receivers on the run. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he went all the way to the sideline, then still had the presence to get the pass away. 1st and 10, Vikings driving, pistol formation. Aaron Beulah in pistol formation. They hand it off to him. He has a big hole at the 5 flag. He's going to get in the end zone. Believe there's going to be a hold coming back. Aaron Beulah
Another
scores,
flag.
And then another flag. But when he's seen some big open spaces in this last 10 or 12 minutes, it is against Laga Vista.
Are there 2 penalties against Lago Vista?
I'm thinking there might be, because it seemed like that other flag was later. But let's see what they're back at the 15. It was a 15-yard touchdown run that will be negated.
I wonder if that second flag came from the end zone, so towards the end of the play. Not sure what the result is going to be, though.
Well, right now, we don't seem to have a way to stop them.
No, yeah, you're right. They have a lot of weapons.
A lot of discussion. All the refs. They always had. I assume those are mics, but I don't remember them being that green.
Those green lights?
Green lights on the belts.
Playing laser
mics,
tag.
yeah. A lot of discussion here.
Well, I've got some time.
All right, go ahead.
Lampasas is leading Fredericksburg 9-0 midway through the first. There is no score on Brownwood and Abilene Wiley.
Hold was the first call against. That's declined.
Both of them.
Personal foul.
That's better.
Against. What's that last move he did? Okay, but if it was a personal foul afterwards, why don't you get both?
Well, I wouldn't have both. I would agree. Yeah.
Maybe that's not in the rule. It's 15 yards will be marked back to the 30.
Huge penalties, though.
Yep.
Big break for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that was a touchdown back at the 30, but can the Bulldogs take advantage of it? I mean, Lago Vista is giving you a gift, but you've got to find some way to keep them out of the end zone. 14-12 our score. Bulldogs trail by 2, 5:59 to go in the first half. They will get the second half kickoff, the Bulldogs. That could come into play here in these last 6 minutes. Because they are playing with that 2-point deficit. 1st and 10, and now we've got a Lago Vista coach is not happy about something. Oh, we got to get all these things out right at the first game of the season. Everybody's
Looked like he wanted a timeout, and then he's rejecting it. He wants them back on the field. So what is the official going to do? Is he going to make them? He ought to make them burn a timeout.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for him.
Yep. So second timeout.
It's a close game right here. It seems like we've kind of been dominated a little bit defensively.
Yeah.
If we were fortunate enough to get a stop here, that would really flip things around.
And it is 1st and 25, right?
Yes, I was looking at
that's right. Okay.
I was looking at the
Because
down
it was
market.
at the 15, yeah, 1st and 25. Unfortunately, they've shown they can get the big plays. But to me, this is the one that you try to go at them. You think they're going to set up some kind of pass here. I know the run has worked, so they might. But still, you bring somebody extra. If they do try to get a pass to Griffin, if you get a sack here, then you really could. You set them back a down. Maybe that's where it can flip. 1st and 10 and 25.
I see.
1st and 25 for the
I see
Vikings.
a little option here coming this way.
Well, there's been a
It's
lot of
first
room
down.
right up the middle. It is 1st and 25 from the 30-yard line. Henderson in shotgun. Aaron Beulah to his right. No, it's another running back. He is going to throw. Rolls to his right. Still looking now.
Don't hit him out of bounds. I think
He
that was
slipped.
a little acting
I
job,
thought
too.
there was a little extra put on there, but he picks up a couple of yards, but then don't get anywhere near it. He got back to the line of scrimmage, so there's your play to get it second down. Didn't get a loss. They lost a yard. He ran out of bounds. Good coverage downfield by the Bulldogs. Thinking about the rest of the game. Second down and 26 now. Now you think they are going to look to go deep. Man goes in motion. 2 receivers to the right. Henderson. It's on the ground. He picks it up, then pitches it.
Goodness.
Somehow gets the pitch, but the Bulldogs stay with it. There have been about 4 times there that it should have been laying out there. Henderson is playing with house money a little bit after a couple of those. But they pick up 2 yards. He gets the pitch out there. It's 3rd down and 23 from the 28-yard line. That's the important thing right now.
It is, and this is on the Bulldogs to make sure we get a stop here. There's going to be no reason, no excuse for Lago Vista picking up a first down here.
Yep. You got 3rd and 23.
Hold them to a field goal attempt, if anything.
2 receivers. You heard that too.
I did.
As always, Roger Moore doing a tremendous job on the stadium announcing. 3rd and long. Henderson rolls. Pressures. Wait, whistle.
Thought I heard a whistle.
What happened here? Delay a game. Didn't get the playoff, so that's 5 more yards. I mean, Lago Vista scored easily, and then ever since then it's been all backwards. So as you said, the Bulldogs have to get them off the field without a touchdown. They won't attempt a field goal from here either.
No,
33-yard line.
If they keep backing
get
up,
some yards, they might. 3rd and 28.
Where is
now
number
at
8?
The 33, yes. Pistol formation. Henderson in shotgun. He is just going to hand it off and nowhere to go. Nicely done. And it's going to bring up 4th and long. Now, they might just try to throw it to the end zone. That was the other running back, Landon Minjares. So let's see what they do. They're switching people out.
Again,
they try to punt it.
Where's number 8? Well, they do have a punter out there,
punter,
and 8 is not an up back. So maybe they're going to try to pin the Bulldogs back and use the clock here to get a stop and have good
and
field
we
position.
need just to be smart and get away from the ball. Even bad field position, you don't want to have a turnover.
Who is deep for us?
4th and long, 4th and 28. Snap over his
that's
head,
huge.
though. Go get him. Snap is back past midfield. It's down at the 30-yard line, and Laga Vista just after that imploded. They did. After that, they scored a touchdown and had the penalty and then just did nothing right after that. Bulldogs just got to take advantage of it, and they are set up. It went from a 10-point deficit to you have a chance to take the lead at the 30-yard line. You've got to cash in.
Huge turn of events for Burnett right here. And, an implosion is the only thing you can call it. They had an opportunity to score in the red zone, and Burnett's looking inside their 30.
So it is at the 30-yard line. That was a turnover on downs. It ended up, but the Bulldogs start at their Laga Vista 30. They are at the Laga Vista 30. Coronado checks in late there. 3:54 to go. Bulldogs have a chance to take the lead. They trail 14-12. What a strange series of events. Looked like a first game. Snap, handoff to Coronado. He's hitting the backfield, though, and just nowhere to go. That play looked like everything, like we were all out of sorts all of a sudden and lost 1, 2nd down 11. We've got to get focused here real quickly and do what we've been doing. 2nd 11 at the 31.
I like Coronado in there, but the line has got to get some contact on people.
Second and 11.
This is Lopez now. Number 15, Peyton Lopez in the backfield.
Murray at quarterback. 2 receivers to the right. 2nd and 11. Man goes in motion. Murray, and then a whistle and a false start. I mean, all of a sudden it is just both teams were driving. Now it looks like both teams hadn't seen a field. Look at a scrimmage. 5 yards marked off against the Bulldogs. It's just like the whole pace has changed. 3:06 to go, and the clock's still running, which it shouldn't be. 5 yards marked off to the 36. Yeah, clock, 10 seconds has already run off, and that was a penalty. Empty backfield. No, I'm sorry. It is, again, you said 15's in, right? Yes. Lopez. Murray at quarterback. 2nd and long. Pimentel goes in motion. Snap back. And then another stoppage of play. 5 yard. We didn't get the play off in time. 5 more yards off.
Boy.
And now the implosion goes the other way.
It's like someone threw a wrench into this.
It is
this smooth running game.
41, 5 more yards. Absolutely strange. I don't know if I've ever seen quite just the total flip both teams. It is now 2nd down and 21 for the Bulldogs. They're back at the 41. I mean, both teams just have gone backwards on the last 10 plays.
Burnett's got to break this
now
funnel
you're
of doom
just trying
is
to get,
what I call it.
2nd down and long. To throw, pressure comes, gets it out, screen, but nowhere to go. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. That screen was to Lopez, but he barely got that away. But Murray had pressure right in his face. It's 3rd down and long. 3rd and 21 from the 41.
Well, at least the clock is running. Maybe that's what we wanted.
Yes, now you're right. You don't want them to be able to score late. We get the second half. It's like let's just the last 5 minutes of the second quarter. We just need to forget about it.
Well, and coaches can can preach on that because it's what you do at the beginning and at the end of quarters that really matter. And both teams have plenty of ammunition to talk about.
Shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the left, and the Bulldogs call a timeout. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I need a break. We'll take a short break, come back. It's 14-12 Bulldogs trail, and they'll have a 3rd and long. We come back on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM.
He was just a young man, but his mistakes landed him in prison. The ultimate wake-up call. He finally really wanted to get his life straightened out. Now, your prison may not be a correctional facility. You may be held captive by sinful habits or an unhealthy lifestyle. But you can begin again. Jesus died for your sins, offering you forgiveness and a new path for life. Find out how to begin a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Call or text us at 888-NEED-HIM or chat with us online at chataboutjesus.com.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back with you live in a strange game. A good start for both offenses, but in this last 2 drives, it's just gone south. 14-12 Bulldogs trail by 2. Had a chance to take the lead, but now they're just trying to get it, maybe in chance for a field goal. They're 3rd and 21 at their Laga Vista 41-yard line. Murray. We haven't even had positive play. Kasner in the backfield with him. It's going to be a run. Murray keeps it. A little space. Did a nice job to cut inside the 30 down to about the 28-yard line. He followed his blocking. Murray with the carry. So that gets, let's see what they do here. It is still 4th down and 8, though. I don't think we want to try a field goal here. So it's a 4th and 8, makeable. You're in a position where it makes sense. If you can pick it up, great. If not, they're on their side of the field. 4th and 8, 50 seconds. Clock runs. First half to throw. And then another whistle. Bulldogs call a timeout before the play. They were trying to pass to go to the outside, but, so everything is kind of but anyway, after that run, the main thing is you do have a 4th and 8. If you could pick it up, definitely in shape then to try to take the lead going into halftime, and you get the second half kickoff, so that run at least gives you a chance.
I think the Bulldogs' issues right here in the last 3 minutes have been confusion and play calling and trying to get the right personnel on the field. Which is, I think, a little different than Laga Vista. Their problem has been personal fouls and penalties. So, two different reasons they're having trouble. I think one is very fixable, and the Bulldogs will only get better at that through practice.
Yeah, and then we do. All of a sudden, it really wasn't like the first game of the season. Everybody's moving, scoring.
True.
But it is the first game of the season.
Yeah.
And we are
the third
scrimmage. Or the third scrimmage, you're right. We get to put scores on the scoreboard.
Let's pick this up.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Murray in shotgun. And we move. It's like concentration just left.
Yeah.
Well, one of the receivers for the Bulldogs just takes off early, so that's 5 yards back. There's only been 1 positive play for either team in the last 6 minutes. I think one we got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it was a pass, a 15-yard pass for zero yards.
So that'll be 5 yards. Where'd they? Okay. It's back at the 37. 4th and 13 now. Trip receivers to the right. Murray rolls that way, throws it deep, and it's nowhere close to any receiver. Closer to one of Laga Vista, so incomplete. And it will be a turnover on down. So the last drive for both teams ends up in turnover on downs. But Laga Vista's got to feel great about coming out of that without giving up a score and keeping the lead at 14-12, 39 seconds. Now this one, this is big to give up a big play here, 39 seconds. And right now you don't know kind of what the mindset is.
Well, their mindset is they're going to try to erase that last series.
Absolutely.
And they're going to be aggressive and go. They're going to go for a touchdown, right? They got plenty of time.
But they're
Although-
running somebody on late.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't. Which
They're kind of out of it, too.
first, I know I still got fourth down on the marker over there, but it's 1st and 10 from the 33 for Lago Vista now. 14-12, they lead by 2. Man goes in motion. They hand it off. Here's the reverse again, but it's on the ground. And is he able to get it?
He is.
And there was room again, but that was to Griffin, and that was the same play that scored from 56 yards. But now they haven't been able to handle the football. We almost got it back at the 23-yard line.
Well, and I like that Noah Billick went ahead and put a pop on Griffin, just like happened to us earlier
Right.
in the game, to let him know that we were there.
I don't think even Lago Vista wants any more of this.
They're going to let it run.
They're
aren't
not
they?
even running another play because they could. Who knows where it might end up? Might end up a score for Marble Falls. And that ends what was a bizarre last 6 minutes, but an interesting first half for a start of a season, and mainly a competitive game. That's always great to see. We just want more points on the end for us, but we will get the second half kickoff. So really good start to the game with some excitement, and then it slowed down, but it is great to be back on the air for Burnett Bulldog football. So we're going to go ahead and take a break. Come back, we'll give you the stats of the first half. But at halftime, the Burnett Bulldogs trail the Lago Vista Vikings 14-12 on KMPN 95.9 FM and BTXSportsOnline.com.
Hi, this is Pastor Greg Mott with your Difference Maker moment. My oldest child graduated from high school this year, and I just thought to myself, Lord, thank you for his friendships. Thank you for the godly and great friends you've put around him. Friendships mean so much to all of us. They require vulnerability and trust and understanding. These are the marks of true friendships. See, the best way to have quality friendships is to be a quality friend. It says in the Bible, he who has friends must first show himself friendly. Reach out to people, love them, encourage them, and you'll find that they'll do the same to you. See, a true friend will stick with you in the hard times, celebrate with you in the good times, and challenge you to walk with Jesus for all time. I want to encourage you to invest in your...
From the files of Unshackled, Pacific Garden Mission presents Free Indeed.
I was a rancher in Montana when I left my crop in the field to go fight in World War I. I came home badly wounded and spent months in the hospital, so when I returned to ranching, I had to hire help. I married, though, making life more pleasant. As children came along, we seemed to have less and less money, even though my wife and I were working for ourselves. One night, we went to hear an evangelist who talked about the disease of sin and the only cure, the blood of Jesus poured out on the cross. Night after night, I listened, knowing he was speaking to me, and the time came when I openly confessed Christ as my Savior. Neighbors thought I'd gone soft in the head, but the truth was I had received a new heart. The burden of sin was gone, and I was at peace with God. Well, times were hard, and the Badlands of Montana aren't easy when times are good. My wife and I listened to radio preachers, and then we got a new pastor at church who taught about tithing. I told the Lord the ranch was his and made pledges of faith that God honored. I was ranching for the Lord instead of for us. Once, when sleeping sickness was spreading across the country, I chose to honor a commitment to take young people to Bible convention instead of staying home, so the veterinarian could vaccinate my herd of 600 horses. God protected us from harm, and young people gave their lives to Christ at that convention. All I can say is, trust in the Lord and see for yourself. I'm George Lenz. If the Son therefore shall make you free, you shall be free indeed.
If you would like to be free from the weight of sin by receiving Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, or maybe you have questions about it, call 1-888-NEED-HIM right now. Free Indeed is a production of Pacific Garden Mission, 1458 South Canal Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60607. Email unshackled@pgm.org.
From the files of Unshackled, Pacific Garden Mission presents Free Indeed.
I was legally blind from birth, but relied on my other senses as I admired the world of nature around me. I loved to hear birds singing and the sound of rushing wind. I enjoyed smelling flowers and the velvet leaves of roses and feeling the texture of tree bark. Yet I felt an unusual longing in my life. I found out what was missing when I picked up my sister from Vacation Bible School. I heard the children singing a joyful hymn to the Lord. Years later, I attended the same Vacation Bible School and learned the secret to sharing in that joy. It was salvation through Jesus Christ. I wanted to share it with others. Rod was my pen pal and considered himself an atheist. After graduating high school, he went on to take college science classes, which he felt would endorse his way of thinking. As he learned more about natural creation, Rod realized that everything had a meticulous design. Then he concluded there had to be an intelligent being that was responsible. I sent Rod a letter sharing my experience about salvation through Jesus Christ. Even though I was legally blind, God used me to help my pen pal see the light. After 9 years of corresponding, we met and married and devoted our lives to spreading the gospel to everyone around us. I'm Linda Stewart. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed.
If you would like to be free from the weight of sin by receiving Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, call 1-888-NEED-HIM right now. Free Indeed is a production of Pacific Garden Mission, 1458 South Canal Street, Chicago, Illinois 60607. Email unshackled@pgm.org.
Hi, I'm Johnny Erickson Tata. One night after the accident in which I became paralyzed, things got as dark could be. In that hospital, the reality of my quadriplegia began to sink in, and I became depressed. But remaining in depression was almost as awful as the prospect of permanent paralysis. And so, that night, I looked up at the hospital ceiling from my bed and I prayed, "Oh God, if I can't die, please show me how to live." Slowly over the next few weeks, I felt something stir in my heart. It was a slight flicker of hope, as well as a faint peace and even a hint of joy in my heart. I didn't realize it then, but I was experiencing Romans chapter 15, verse 13, where it says, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace, as you trust in Him." Today, friend, if you are struggling, trust in Him. For when you do, you will experience not a faint peace and joy, but a full peace and joy in Jesus Christ.
As Americans, we enjoy a broad range of freedom. We can write critical letters to the editor, worship as we please, speak up against injustice, and walk the protest line for all sorts of issues. But while we may enjoy political, religious, and personal freedom, we can still be in bondage in the most crucial aspect of life, the spiritual life. Jesus, the Son of God, amazed his listeners when he told them, "Everyone who sins is a slave to sin. But if the Son of God sets you free, you will be free indeed." Jesus was speaking to educated, moral, and religious people. And just like those people who questioned Jesus, we also may be morally religious, but spiritually be ruled by sin. It is only when we receive God's Son, Jesus Christ, as our Savior, that we will obtain personal freedom. To learn how Jesus Christ can liberate you spiritually, call us at 888-NEED-HIM or go to chataboutjesus.com.
Mark Edmondson and Roy Kaiser back with you live. I'm going to get the stats here in just a moment. We're at halftime, 14-12. Lago Vista leads. The scoring started as Lago Vista. The Bulldogs deferred. They won the toss, so they will get the second half kickoff, get a chance to take the lead. But Lago Vista only took 3 plays, I believe it was, and it was a reverse to the D1 commit, Swade Griffin, with a 56-yard touchdown run to get the scoring started there in the first quarter at the 11-minute mark. That put the Vikings up 7-0 after the extra point. Bulldogs answered quickly. They took the ball, got good field position, started at their own 47, and then it was a touchdown pass from Rhett Murray again to now. Of course, everything went wrong there at the end to Matthew Williams, who had a nice first half, his touchdown catch of 11 yards. Extra point was no good, and that's kind of set this chain in motion as far as this 2-point deficit. Then on the next drive, though, Lago Vista took it down the field, and it was a 13-yard run to their running back, Aaron Beulah, to get the score. The extra point was good, made it 14-6. The Bulldogs, though, answered, and that one was the Bulldogs scored. Pimentel got the carry inside the 3-yard touchdown run to put the Bulldogs at 14-12. They did go for 2, could not convert, and ended up. That's where we stand. And after that, it just was a bad football for 6 or 7 minutes. Again, I think they just kind of lost some focus. Lago Vista scored on a touchdown run, went right back, but then had a big penalty. Then they had a bad snap. Bulldogs got set up in great field position for a chance to take the lead, but they couldn't take advantage and making some mistakes. So we'll get a chance to restart there in the second half with Lago Vista again leading 14-12. Bulldogs will get the second half kickoff.
You know, the Bulldogs, Mark, have been trying to spread the football around a little bit, and so some of the stats we'll see from the first half would be Murray through the air would be 5 of 8 for 33 yards with 1 touchdown to Williams. And receiving, Williams with that 1 touchdown has caught 1 pass for 6 yards. He's caught 2 passes for 20 yards. That's Stanford with 1 catch for 6, thrown at 3 times, but the 2 incomplete. Sanchez has caught 1 for 7 yards, and Lopez has been targeted once, but in fact he caught 1, but it didn't go for any gain on that play. On the ground, Kastner is the leading rusher tonight as the lights go out.
Lights go out. We have the delay. We haven't moved.
We know we had some kind of explosion this afternoon, and the electricity went off for a second, I think citywide, or at least in this area. So I was getting a little concerned that might have happened again. All right, Kastner with 6 carries for 32 yards. Pretty solid so far. Stanford has 1 carry for 16 yards. Pimentel has 3 carries for 21 yards. Murray, 1 rush for 12. And Coronado has 5 rushes for 21. So you've got 3 guys with over 21 yards on the ground, and they're mixing it up. So the defense should be a little more off guard there. The 1 rushing touchdown going to Pimentel.
All right, we are at halftime here. The Lago Vista band has played. The Esprit de Corps they are on the field, and band and the Highlanders about to perform here. Always doing a tremendous job. Again, working such long hours. You know, we know we talk about the long summers for players and athletes. Esprit de Corps, though, been at it for a long period of time, and I saw them, again today before doing some practice even before tonight's game, and just in heat and just as much in the sun, and so they do a tremendous job, and always like to give them all the credit for all the hard work they all do. So we're going to go ahead and take one more break here, and when we come back, we'll get you ready for the second half. Again, our audio goes at home games. We'll go through the video feed of the Burnet Athletic YouTube channel. And also you can hear it anywhere on the World Wide Web. All the games, home and away, they'll just be an audio feed away, but that's on BTXSportsOnline.com. Again, thanks to Chad Nelson. And then, of course, thanks to KMPN 95.9 FM, where you can hear it locally. So we're just starting the season. I'll be bringing you all the games. So share with others. Let them know you're out there. If the Civils are listening tonight, shout out to them, and Charlie as well. Do appreciate all of you. And we'll be back after this break on BTXSportsOnline.com and 95.9 FM.
From the files of Unshackled, Pacific Garden Mission presents Free Indeed.
I always felt insecure and unworthy, so I didn't date much in high school. Instead, I drank. I decided to be a carpenter like my grandfather so I could leave something behind for people to remember. I also hunted for Civil War relics with a friend named Benny who drank with me. At age 40, I was still single while both my brothers were married. One brother got saved and quoted Bible verses to me, and I felt guilty before God. I started my own construction company even though I lacked confidence. Then I worked with a man who loved Jesus and lived for him. I went to church, and God's Word became a lifeline to me. I prayed to receive Christ. 6 months later, while riding my bike into a headwind, I realized that's how I had lived my life, and I was born again, surrendered to Christ for His purposes. The next day, I had surgery with no fear of death, but my cousin died of cancer that morning, and I didn't know if she was saved. I went to Bible school to be prepared to share the gospel. Now I share my testimony in churches and fellowships, and some people are saved. When Benny lay dying of cancer, I told him the greatest treasure in the world lay in the Bible, written and fulfilled by Jesus Christ. Benny professed faith in Christ. God gave me confidence to be a successful builder, but building His kingdom comes first. I'm Lane Turner. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed.
If you would like to be free from the weight of sin by receiving Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, call 1-888-NEED-HIM right now. Free Indeed is a production of Pacific Garden Mission, 1458 South Canal Street, Chicago, Illinois 60607. Email unshackled@pgm.org.
Need some real hope? Here's Pastor Jeff Shreve.
Maybe you're like the millions of Christians who struggle with really believing, really accepting, and really enjoying the personal love of God. Maybe you have a terrible time truly believing that God could love you because you know all the things you have done. You see, sin can surely weigh us down and steal away our joy and our feelings of worth. But here's the great news. Jesus does love you, even you. He loves you so much that He willingly died on the cross for you. You matter to Him. The Apostle John called himself the disciple whom Jesus loved. Let that truth penetrate your heart. Listen, you and I may not feel worthy of His love because we're not, but He loves us anyway. The cross proves it. Now that's real hope.
And you can find that real hope when you visit FromHisHeart.org. Here's Pastor Jeff Shreve with some real hope.
Have you noticed how many people there are walking around worried, stressed, weighed down with burdens and cares? Maybe that describes you right now. Well, Jesus gives a great invitation to those of us who are worn out and beaten down. He says, "Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." You see, the Lord wants to give you a new lease on life. Furthermore, He wants to use you to be an ambassador of rest and refreshment to weary, worried souls. He wants to lift your spirits so that you, by His power, can lift the spirits of others. And as you walk with Jesus, you can enjoy His presence and bring that joy to other people. Will you ask the Lord to use you today to make a difference in the lives of others? As you point them to Jesus, you point them to real hope.
Find real hope in Jesus Christ. Visit FromHisHeart.org.
From the files of Unshackled, Pacific Garden Mission presents Free Indeed.
I used to be a liar and a thief who was seldom sober, but that's not true any longer, and I'd like to tell you how it happened. I was already an accomplished liar at the age of 10 when my father suddenly went blind. This was during the Depression, and my folks lost their home. I became moody and started drinking in high school. By the time I married Anita, I was leading a double life, concealing the dark side of my nature. However, as my drinking got worse, I had to lie more often to cover my failures and the unpaid bills. One Christmas, I stayed away for 3 days, and when I did go home, I threw all my presents into the furnace. In desperation, I decided to change my life by joining the Navy. I wrote letters to my wife telling her I'd given up drinking, but that was a lie. In 1945, I served aboard a destroyer escort when kamikaze suicide pilots attacked us during a chapel service on deck. I prayed that God would help me stay on the gun and not run from the fight. God answered that prayer and kept me safe as well. After the war, I was just as bad as ever, embezzling money from the job, then borrowing from my old mother to repay the theft. I finally turned to AA because I had to quit drinking or end up in jail. Then I began reading the Bible month after month. All that stood in the way of my salvation was doubt about the virgin birth, but I prayed and God helped my unbelief. What a difference Christ has made in my life, and He'll do the same for you. I'm Carl Aldrich. If the Son therefore shall make you free, you shall be free indeed.
If you would like to be free from the weight of sin by receiving Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, or maybe you have questions about it, call 1-888-NEED-HIM right now. Free Indeed is a production of Pacific Garden Mission, 1458 South Canal Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60607. Email unshackled@pgm.org. From the files of
Andrea Herzer suffers from a rare condition known as chronic regional pain syndrome.
It causes insomnia because of the excruciating pain. And I would tell my husband, it feels like I'm dying.
Despite the challenges caused by her condition, Andrea's faith in Jesus Christ gives her the confidence to face each day.
Replacing that fear with the soundness and assurance of Christ really gave me what I needed to persevere.
While Andrea's physical condition has no cure, she already knows the spiritual healing that comes through Jesus Christ. Here's Billy Graham.
All the many spiritual diseases that can touch a man can be healed. The moment you put your trust in Christ, the cure has already begun.
If you'd like to know more about that spiritual cure, about inviting Jesus into your life today, visit us at findpeacewithgod.net. When you're there, click on Begin a Relationship with Jesus Christ. That's at findpeacewithgod.net. And it's from the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
Mark Edmondson back here live with you. It is halftime. The Esprit de Corps has finished up their performance. Let me bring up Coach Kaiser as well. Do appreciate you joining us. First game of the season. See if we got any updates here in a minute about other games going on when you get a chance. No hurry. We still have a little bit of time here at halftime. Bulldogs trail 14-12. They will get the second half kickoff. See if we got some from our district or around the area.
Yeah, we do have Brownwood and Abilene Wiley look like they're in a delay, so no score there.
Wow.
Fredericksburg is playing Lampasas tough at halftime, 30-21.
Lampasas?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Lampasas is up. Oh. And Stephenville is up 7-3 on Midlothian Heritage. And Marble Falls is up on Austin Crockett 29-0.
The Mustangs. Again, our district, Stephenville, and our numbers might vary a little, but essentially preseason kind of stuff. You see those polls out there. Stephenville ranked number 1 preseason. I saw Brownwood, I think it's 7 or 8.
Yep.
Lampasas at 18. And so this is going to be a district a little different where we've had Brownwood before. I don't know if we've ever had Stephenville, not in my time. We played, but not in as a district opponent.
No, we played them in by district.
District, yeah, I do remember that. So it's going to be obviously a very tough district, but you are going to be tested if you're able to come come out of that district. You can't fear playing other teams. I mean, you're going to be able to go now. There are 5 teams, 4 playoff spots. So you look at that. But still, it will be from week to week a district that is talked about.
That's true. And the other thing is in the region, you have districts that only have 4 or 5 teams. So the teams are limited. And, if you get the right draw, you never know what can happen. There'll be some good teams in this region, but maybe you have a chance.
Tonight, just some quick thoughts on this first half. The Bulldogs and Lago Vista came out both offensively doing well, but it did kind of seem like they hit a wall and maybe a little tired. We often talk this time of the year about cramps and things like that. It seemed more like their brains were in that both teams just kind of making mental mistakes. But, like you said, that gives the coaches at halftime, or or both sides are explaining that well that you're not going to win games if you make mistakes like that.
And the thing is, Burnett has been practicing in the heat, and then their scrimmages were extremely hot, temperatures when they played those, and I can't speak to Lago Vista, but we have a pretty pleasant night tonight. It's 81. I mean, it's pleasant for us, but it's probably hot on the field. So maybe the heat is a little bit of a factor, but something has happened that they hit a wall. Now, up to that point, Mark, it was fun football, and you see the talent that's on the field on both teams, and it's been fun to watch to see how the coaches have utilized their talent and their athletes to try to get touchdowns.
I did want to say we are at the top of the hour. You're listening to Burnett Bulldog Football on KMPN 95.9 FM, Burnett Marble Falls. Bulldogs are coming back out of the field house here.
We talked a little bit about volleyball, and I want to mention cross country is going on right now.
Yes.
And Coach Christy Jones in her second year as the head coach for the Burnett Bulldogs and Lady Dogs, and she does such a great job, and her assistant Justin Weldon, and they're going to get up super early tomorrow and drive all the way to San Antonio for a meet that we've gone to in the past, and a big meet, a lot of teams you normally don't see. So good luck to them and safe travels. The boys team and I believe the girls team both won the Vista Ridge meet in their respective divisions. So it's been a good start for the cross country teams.
Outstanding. We're going to go ahead and take one more last break here. We come back. We'll get ready for the second half. Both teams are warming up back on the field. It's 14-12 Lago Vista with the 2-point lead at halftime on KMPN 95.9 FM, BTXSportsOnline.com.
From the files of Unshackled, Pacific Garden Mission presents Free Indeed.
I suffered more than most people growing up. Beatings, desertion, in and out of children's homes. I couldn't wait to get married and have children of my own. At 16, I married a man 10 years older than I. Fred was so kind and considerate while we were dating, and even after our first child was born. But after our second daughter came along, he became abusive to me. My family started living with us, making matters worse, except for my younger brother, Bob. He tried to tell me about Jesus, but I was too full of self-pity to listen. And then Bob died unexpectedly, and I had no one who cared. Life got worse. Our firstborn son died right after he was born, so I started chasing around with my sister. Fred became a wild man. Our second son was born but lived only 16 hours, and then our third son was born and lived. When Fred refused to buy penicillin for our sick boy, I left my husband and got a divorce. I had to put my 3 children in different homes while I stayed with a Christian family, and there I met Orville, a new believer in Christ. He read the Bible to me and taught me so much about Jesus Christ. But then he suddenly died, too, of a brain hemorrhage. His death forced me to look to Christ instead of man, and I cried out to God to save me. I began listening to Unshackled on the radio, and then I took my children to Pacific Garden Mission, where a counselor helped us live for Jesus. I'm Emmeline Strauss. If the Son therefore shall make you free, you shall be free indeed.
If you would like to be free from the weight of sin by receiving Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, or maybe you have questions about it, call 1-888-NEED-HIM right now. Free Indeed is a production of Pacific Garden Mission, 1458 South Canal Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60607. Email unshackled@pgm.org.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back with you live here on BTXSportsOnline.com, 95.9 FM. This one win at the beginning of the season certainly doesn't make or break a season. We talked a lot about the last couple of years about moral victories and the Bulldogs starting to get some of those other wins. So a loss by either team is not going to change a whole lot. But this is where you get to find out, I think, some early on, what after both teams did some things, who's going to stick with it, who in that fourth quarter can make those plays. And that's the coaches are, continuing to evaluate at this point.
Oh, for sure. And you want to see your team see what kind of grit they have after you've been preaching it for weeks in the unpleasant heat and practices. Football is a fun sport, but I never thought it was a very fun sport to practice, and so you've got to.
Unlike basketball.
Unlike Okay, basketball is fun to play and practice.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Yes, you can get to it. Yes. Sorry, just a little shot there at the head basketball coach.
Shout out to the basketball sport.
All right. Do appreciate you joining us. All right. We are here as we're about to kick off. Again, listening to Burnet Bulldog Football on KMPN Burnet. 31 will be kicking off for the Vikings. Zeke Moore back deep. Bulldogs have 2. Kasner at the 10. Ball goes away from him. No fair catch. No, it wasn't a fair catch called. Picked up at the 32-yard line and got some room on the outside. That's Park who came up. And first I kind of thought he lifted the hand but didn't. And he gets a big return pass midfield. And I hope I don't do it. Trevin Park, because I know Trent Park had been such a big part of this team the last several years. Trevin already making his presence felt here tonight, and that one with a good return. Trevin Park to the 45-yard line. Great field position, what you want. Now, can you convert it?
And let's hope they do, but you're right. He has put them in a great position.
Good job of finding blockers and getting to the outside. 1st and 10, 2 receivers to the left. Murray at quarterback. They start at the Laga Vista 45. Fake it, gonna look to throw, and took way too much time, and Murray got sacked. It was a fake reverse and then a double fake reverse, and then Murray got planted there as nobody able to pick up. It looked like maybe number 7, Cole Myers, and a loss back to the Burnet 47-yard line. So the defense of Laga Vista pick it up.
You know, it looked like he was going to hand that off, and
yeah, I thought
I'm
so
not
too.
sure why he didn't.
So 2nd and about 18. Loss of 8 on the play. 2nd and long. Bulldogs behind the chains again. Snap. Throws it out in the flat. Catch is made. Then the tackle is made. Right now, Laga Vista certainly looks quicker to the ball. Catch made by Aiden Sanchez, but he's tackled immediately. No gain. 3rd down and long. That's that wide receiver screen, but they got the other defender to come over, and we didn't have enough blockers to get him sprung. 3rd and long. Trip receivers to the left. Murray in shotgun. Snap back. He looks to throw. Has time. Middle of the field, goes up, and was the catch made? It was! Williams with a tremendous catch and a 1st down. It was almost intercepted by Caden Coughlin, who was right there. Williams has showed a great route running and then great strength there, and he gets it all the way down to the 18-yard line. What gain was that? 32, 35, 36 yards. We'll call it 35 yards on the reception and a 1st down. The throw was there, but coverage was there. Williams just took it away from him. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. Bulldogs, now can they convert? Big 3rd down. Man goes in motion. They're going to hand it off up the middle. Casper's got a hole. Tripped up at about the 15. Falls down to the 13-yard line. A gain of 5. Well, the ankle tackle away from there from getting in the end zone, but a good 1st down play. Go back to that pass.
Well, I'm not sure where Williams has come from, if he was on the JV last year or what, but he is making his presence known as a physical receiver, not just one that can run a route, but will go up and get the football. And, Mark, we both know that that's what you have to have
go get it,
if you're going to throw the football.
Change the game here. Coronado in the backfield to the right of Murray. 2 receivers to the right. 2nd down and 5 at the 13 to throw. Has a man, and it's Sanchez there. Goes up high. Good catch by Aiden Sanchez because that ball was a little high. And he gets the 1st down to the 6-yard line. Gain of 7. Did the 1st down, did he not? Yes, 1st and goal at the 7. That's one of those dangerous ones if it skips off your hands, and Sanchez just made sure he had it on a good zip pass by Murray. Coronado to the right of Murray. 1st and goal at the 7. Bulldogs trying to take the lead. Coronado fighting hard,
run.
gets inside the 5 to the 4-yard line, a gain of 2. He was hitting the backfield. 8:24. So after that setback on that first play, looked like the Bulldogs in real trouble. Had the big pass on third down completed to Williams. Now need to score to take the lead. They trail 14-12, 8:11 to go, third quarter. Murray looks to the sideline. Coronado, the back in the backfield with him, still looking. It's second down and goal from the 4. Got to hurry a little bit, under 10 seconds on the play clock. 2 receivers to the left. Murray in shotgun, gets the snap, hands it off to Coronado. He's hitting the backfield, pushing hard, but they are getting some penetration. We got to do a better job that they are getting through, and Coronado had to get out of the way of a defender just as he took the ball. They get back to the line of scrimmage. We might have to move a little away from right there in the middle. They are clogging that up and getting penetration. Third down and goal from the 4.
Yeah, Coronado did a good job of trying to sidestep the first defender, but there's just too many of them there.
Third down and goal from the 4-yard line. Coronado to the left of Murray. Trip receivers to the left. Murray gets the snap. He's going to throw. Has a man. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Was it Williams again? 5 or 6. I want to make sure it's a 4-yard touchdown on the slant.
He's hiding his number. It's 5.
It's 6. 5's on the left side.
There
It
he
was
is.
Sanchez. Sanchez running the slant. They're going to have to do something about that.
They are, yes.
But a slant, he came wide open, and Murray zipped it in there again, and it's a 4-yard touchdown from Rhett Murray to Aiden Sanchez. They're going for 2 again, 18-14 their score. 2 receivers to the right. It's Pimentel. Pimentel carries it, jumps over a man into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Marcus Pimentel makes it 20-14 with 7:04 to go in the third quarter, and what a big turnaround. You had that 3rd and long. You pick up the play, and you put it in the end zone. Good drive, finished it off. They lead 20-14, the first lead of the night for the Bulldogs.
Really good drive, and I keep going back to Williams' catch and thinking, as a quarterback, how confident you are in throwing the football when you know that your receiver will do everything in his power to go get the ball and take it away from defenders. You're willing to put the ball in places that you might not otherwise throw it, and even if you do and you're a little bit off, you trust that a guy will go get it. I think that could be really, really deadly for the Bulldogs.
I agree. So it was a pass from Pimentel to Sanchez for the touchdown, 4-yard touchdown. But then the 2-point conversion, Pimentel with the run. Makes it 20-14. Bulldogs' first lead of the night. They will kick off. Sam Rodriguez to kick off for the Bulldogs. 7:04 to go, third quarter. Used a lot of clock there, too, as it ended up in that drive.
Well, what a great way to come out of the locker room.
And it looked like it was off to such an auspicious start, my big word of the month. Kickoff back to the 7-yard line, returned by the Vikings. He finds a hole there, and it's again, I believe, number 2, Morton.
And again, number 20, Kastner, who we got a little extracurricular going on.
I mean, there were 3 Lago Vista players around one Bulldog.
Hey.
Let's see, and his jersey is.
My goodness.
And it was well after the play. Let's see. I mean, I'm thinking this is on Lago Vista, but
they were on top of him, holding
Yeah.
him down. Goodness. I will reserve my comments until after the call.
Yeah. Right now, it's spotted at the 32. It is a personal foul against Lago Vista.
It's going to be offsetting, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
It is. They are offsetting. All right. 1st and 10, so it ends up being 1st and 10 at 32. Bulldogs the first lead of the night, 20-14. Laga Vista, they've scored on 2 of their 3 drives. Actually scored on all 3, but had the one come back. Pistol formation, Henderson at quarterback. High snap, he hands it off. Bouncing to the outside, and hard hit there. The Bulldogs as Rambula carries to the 37-yard line. Was a pickup of 5.
Is that number 8? No, it's number 2, O'Hare with the tackle.
Yeah.
He's going to have to fix his number 2.
Yeah, the numbers are good to see, except they get crumpled up, and it's a long way across the field. 2nd down and 5. To throw. Deep, going deep, middle of the field, and catch is made. It was a good throw. Coverage was close, and Henderson gets it to Brock Morton, who points 1st down, which, again, interesting. But it's a big play all the way into Burnett territory. The coverage was close, but he dropped it in there, and they go for the deep pass and get it to the 21-yard line. About a 54-yard completion. 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the Burnett 21. Henderson, quarterback, pistol formation. Now he's in a man in motion behind him. Then they hand it off on Aram Buella, easy for me to say, and he's hit quickly. But he's still trying to push, and no whistle as they continue to fight. And that could have been a flag right there. It was a late push by one of the offensive linemen. There's a lot of stuff going on after the play, long time before that whistle. Arambula with that carry. Let's see where they ended up marking it. It was such a big kind of pile there. They gave him yardage all the way down to the 15. The 15. Just outside the 15. That was a gain of 6. So 2nd down and a long 4, short 5. Henderson, again, pistol formation. Late, there was movement, and then the snap. But Arambula carries the ball again. Looks like he got a 1st down. Looked like the ball didn't come back there right away, but they keep driving. That would be a 1st down at the 10. Looks like they'll have it 1st and goal at the 10. So they set this up with the big pass play now, working quickly. 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. Laga Vista trails 20-14, trying to regain the lead here in the 3rd quarter. Home opener, season opener for the Bulldogs. Henderson gets the snap in the pocket, throws, got a man, and can't make the catch. Actually, that would have been an easier catch
right in the pocket
for Morton than the catch he made on the long play a few minutes ago, but couldn't come up with it. He was open and dove for it, and incomplete. It's 2nd and goal from the 10.
That might have been his mistake. I don't know that he had to dive for it. It was right to him.
And he did get away there in the end zone. 2nd and goal from the 10. And Henderson had time to throw. Arambula to his right. Henderson going to run the option. He keeps it. Now pitches late.
Ooh.
And he's hit hard. That might have been 21 in there on that play. I think it was. Juarez with the carry. And he got him about to the 7. So it's 3rd down and goal. Looked like they have it at the 7-yard line. A little hard to see. There it is. It is marked down at the 7. 3rd and goal from the 7 for the Vikings. They trail 20-14.
Well, you know, this is an important play for the Bulldogs. Arambula's in the backfield.
He is in pistol formation behind Henderson. 2 receivers to the right. They send one of those in motion. Then they hand it off to Arambula, and he's hit. Maybe gets to the 6-yard line. Good job. Penetration right up the middle by the Bulldogs defensive line. 4th down and goal from the 6.
Ooh, interesting to see what decision they make. I think they'll go for it.
They're sending a lot of people in, so it looks like a field goal attempt.
Sure does.
Trying to.
Well, there's a lot of game left.
Yeah, there is. Let's see. I would be wary of a fake too, but they might want to just test their kicker out here in game situation too. It's 20-14, as you said. A lot of time left. 31 is the kicker. Zeke Moore.
Park got close
Snap
last
back.
time.
Kick is on the way, and it is good. Moore does kick the field goal. I believe he was at the 10. So a 20-yard field goal makes it 20-17, but a good stomp there in the side. You had them first and goal at the 10. Force the field goal attempt. They get it. So the Bulldogs still lead 20-17, 3:45 to go third quarter.
Yeah, holding them to a field goal after that long reception to keep the drive going is a big win for Burnett so they can maintain the lead.
That was marked. Trying to see where that was marked. Maybe look at it, 20-yard field goal. He has a big leg there. I mean, so they run him out there with confidence, and he puts it in. So 20-17, Bulldogs maintain the lead. So here gives you a chance, your offense, to go back out there. If you can they had trailed, the Bulldogs trailed all night, got the opening kickoff second half, got the lead. This is where, if you can, you can then put it into a 2-score game if you can get a touchdown.
Yeah, we'll see what the Bulldogs are able to do on this kickoff return to establish some good field position like last time. I think that's a big key for the offense. They've started most of their possessions with pretty decent field position.
It has been a big part tonight. Moore to kick off. Kick going to be returned from the 15-yard line to the 20. Ball on the ground. Bulldogs just kind of popped out, but able to get back on it. And I believe that was Stanford, and he was able to get back on it. So it's going to be probably their worst field position.
So conversely, this drive will start with their worst field position.
You had to say something.
I had to say it.
That just makes a long drive. They start at the 20, though.
And more time off the clock.
That's right. That's the way I would look at it.
We'll see how they handle it.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. It would be nice to see them put together. They had a couple of good drives in that first half. Scored here in the third quarter already. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Murray sends a man in motion. Snap. They're going to hand it off, and right now Lago Vista's figuring some of that out. They handed it off to the wide receiver. I believe that was, that was Williams, but he loses 2 yards. So on first down, set back behind the chains again, as it's back to the 18-yard line. So 2nd down and 12 for the Bulldogs. Lago Vista's been able to read and get some people in the backfield, cause real trouble on those that take a little time, those plays that do. Coronado in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to him. He's looking for space, does break a tackle, still on his feet, and he was about one. Now the ball comes out. Got to get on it. It's still bouncing around.
I think the big lineman
It looked
got
like
it.
the lineman, he was going to swallow it up there, and he did get down on it. Great hustle by the Bulldogs
76.
linemen to get there. Coronado, I don't know, maybe everything's a little slippery out there. We've seen him slip.
Maybe.
The ball has come out both teams, but it ends up at the 42-yard line. Coronado, what a great run. Then it comes out at the end. But the linemen pick it up past the 40-yard line.
Sharon.
He had to go down and get it, save the Bulldogs, keeping the offense on the field. Great hustle. This time it's a carry by Murray, and a little delay. Not sure if that was the true keeper at first. It didn't look right, but either way, it picks up positive yards to the 47-yard line. Gain of 5 on first down. But you got to give Coronado a lot of credit for that run, because he was knocked around, and I thought he was about just that last tackle. He could have got one more. He had a lot of space, but to pick up that first down.
Honestly, it was all him on that play, because there really wasn't a hole there.
2nd down and 5 from the 47-yard line. Man goes in motion. Going to throw. Trouble. Murray gets away and just able to get it away in time. And that end Cole Myers has been a problem for him, defensive end or linebacker. He's defensive end, and he's got back there. He got to Murray. Murray, it's incomplete, just got it away in time.
And a great job by Murray to get rid of
Yeah.
it so he didn't lose that much yardage.
3rd down and 5. 3rd down and 5 after the incompletion. Coronado to the left of Murray. 2 receivers to the left. Bulldogs would certainly love to keep this drive going, stating the obvious. They're going to hand it off to Coronado. He's looking for space. He's able to break a tackle still. And then ball comes out again, and there's a flag. They're saying he was down.
Yeah, he should have been down.
There's a flag.
It's probably going to be a hold.
We're starting to move the chains. They shouldn't, I don't think. I think you're right. But we got to make sure. Both teams have had trouble putting it on the ground, but they're the hold against the Bulldogs. Again, a great run by Coronado. But the hold was downfield. It won't be a first down, but it depends where they mark the spot. But it's going to end up being 3rd down still. I guess they're saying it was at the line, so that's going to move them back 10, which will end up. So it's going to be, instead of a first down, 3rd and 15.
Coronado does come out. He put it on the ground the last 2 carries that he's had. So give him a break and let him think about that for a second.
Goes back to the Burnett 37-yard line. So it's 3rd and 15, 1:23 to go.
It's a big call.
Yep. And they did say it was down, so it wasn't going to end up being a fumble. But the penalty pushes it back. 3rd and long. Murray in the pocket, trying to set up the screen and just nowhere to go. They read it all the way. It was that trying to get it to Kasner, but he ends up at the line of scrimmage. Bulldogs going to have to punt. 4th down and 15. Yeah, that defense at times they have found some way. They're not real big, but some quickness for Lago Vista. And they saw that screen all the way and were able to knock down Kasner. Bulldogs to punt. Punter standing back at the 22. It's Pimentel, gets it away. Takes a good Burnett bounce. Nice.
Really good bounce.
Ends up going back
punt.
inside the 20, I believe. Marcus Pimentel with the punt. They put it right on the 20. About a 58-yard punt. So now Lago Vista will get a chance. They trail 20-17. They get the stop. The penalty hurting the Bulldogs. And now with 15 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, Bulldogs lead by 3, 20-17. Lago Vista will start this drive. Henderson brings them out into the field. Took them a little while to all get on the field. They are there now. Henderson at quarterback. Trip receivers to the left. One of those goes in motion. Sets up the up back. Gonna hand it. No, he keeps it himself. Henderson reading that option and still on his feet. Struggling for yards, and he picks up 10 on what'll be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Clock does start again, so we'll go to the 4th quarter. The Burnett Bulldogs lead the Lago Vista Vikings 20-17 on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM.
Every great football coach will tell you that status quo doesn't win football games. That's not enough to only be as good as the next guy. You've got to be better. Real champions give an uncommon effort to achieve an awesome result. Sometimes I wonder why we don't look at life that way. Why do we settle for what everyone else is? School, a job, a family, then die. Yippee. Is that really all there is? No way. In fact, the one that made you, God himself, says, I've got great plans for you. Plans to give you the kind of hope and future you could never dream up on your own. When you look for me, you'll find me. And that great plan. God's book also says his plan for you begins at the cross Jesus died on, a sacrifice he made to make it possible for you to find him and to be forgiven from running life your way instead of his. Why not find the one that turns an ordinary life into an uncommon one by calling 888-NEED-HIM? That's 888-NEED-HIM.
Well, here we go. First game of the season, fourth quarter of the season. Bulldogs do lead 20-17. Been a kind of up and down game, but a competitive one. What you want to see, these teams, and both doing some good things, both making some mistakes as you would expect early on. Right now, the Bulldogs have a 3-point lead, but Lago Vista will have the football after forcing the punt. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. 30-yard line.
Let's see a Bulldog defender make a play here in this series.
Had several near turnovers. Haven't had one yet, though. Henderson, pistol formation, and he's going to hand it off. And there was a hole, and Rambula just able to find space. He was caught by you always worry about the horse collar tackle, but they just were grabbing for whatever they could and got Jersey. But he is quick in there, and he picks up 9 yards.
And he might be going off.
Yeah, he is limping a little bit. So you hate to see that.
I think it's maybe a shoe. I think he's got an equipment problem, or maybe a cramp. Let's see. Hard to tell.
Yeah, on a night like this. But anyway, so they are saying, wait a second. He was kind of trying to rush off. Instead, they stopped the clock. But he did pick up 9 to the 39-yard line. So we go down to the fourth quarter, and you do get to find out some things. Again, early in the season, so many things you're trying to learn. And coaches, I know, will do some different things to see what they can come up with or might do in a certain situation.
True, and, I think at this point, you know your players pretty well. You haven't seen them in a game for this season, but you've been through all of spring last year. You've been through 7-on-7. You've been through 2-a-days and 2 scrimmages. So it's just a matter of how the kids are going to respond. Leaders will step up and lead, and players will make plays, and that's how you win football games. And so the Bulldogs are looking for who that is this year. A lot of those guys graduated because they had been on the varsity for 3 years, and so these guys are finding their own way here.
2nd and 1. Juarez is in the backfield with Henderson. Henderson rolls, looking to throw, steps into it, going deep. It's up for grabs and knocked away. Good coverage by Stanford down the field. Griffin wanted illegal contact, but really it was both players.
They were both hand fighting, and
that wasn't
that's
Griffin.
6.
It wasn't. It was Perky.
Perky,
but great coverage by Stanford. And both were kind of playing defense at that point. I think,
sure.
You just because Stanford had as much right to it as Perky's. 3rd down and 1. They go for the deep pass on that 2nd and short. Henderson in shotgun. He's bobbled a little bit, but then he gets the handoff. It was, I believe, is that back in 24? No, it's 34. Now. So it wasn't. Look. I don't have a 34 on there. Maybe that's not him, is it again? Switching jerseys.
It doesn't look like him.
It doesn't look like him either. Doesn't look like their running back. The one I say different name every time. Rambula. It's not easy. It's not easy. I'm not trying to. I promise. So 1st and 10. They do pick up the first down with 34 to the 45-yard line. That was a gain of 6. To throw. Has time. Pressure comes late. Throws it up for grabs, and that was nowhere close. Bulldogs defender closer than any Viking. It'll bring up 2nd and 10, but pressure came late up the middle, and he definitely, if you can get some pressure on him, it would change any quarterback, but that is the one thing when they've been able to do that, just haven't always been able to do it.
True, and we've had some success when that's happened. Now, we have seen Henderson escape some of those tackles.
But if he stays in the pocket.
And but that time we had 2 defenders in the area.
2nd and 10. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left here in the fourth quarter. Man goes in motion behind the quarterback, but then they hand it off to 34 again. Again, I don't have his name. He gets to the 49-yard line. Gain of 4. This is bringing up the 3rd down and 7. And it's obviously different. I don't know who 34 name is, but obviously not the quick. He ran fine there, but not the quickness of Rambula. 3rd and 6. So that does change the defense and what you can do. Trip receivers to the right, 1 to the left on 3rd down and 6 from the 49-yard line. Man goes in motion. Henderson, he's going to hand it off. No, he keeps it, and he's in trouble. Then he throws it out, and the tackle made in the backfield as they pull down Morton. He did throw it. It was a forward pass, but the Bulldogs read it well, so they try to run a little some option off the option. Bulldogs come up with a big stop back to the 43-yard line, forcing a punt.
Well, no, the best part of that play is Morton didn't get to do his first down signal.
I would think of the punt, but close enough. Yeah, but there you again see the quarterback being a little creative there. As he went out, he was getting hit, but the Bulldogs defense came up and met Morton as well. Read that really well. Snap back. This punt is a tough one, shanked off the side, and it goes out of bounds. This should be excellent field position. Of course, earlier they had one go over the punter's head. So.
Well, and that was a bad snap, and that's why he had to he actually kicked the end of the football instead of making good contact.
So the Bulldogs will get good field position. Now, this is where they had the drive last time, not able to do anything with it. 9:25 to go in a game, and a score here. Your lead 20-17, 9:25 to go in the fourth quarter here from Burnett. And you really put a lot of pressure on Lago Vista Late if you can put a drive together.
Yeah,
of course they know that too.
And you know it's getting pretty chippy on the field, and so you've got to put together a solid drive, keep your head, and don't have any mental mistakes after the play.
Next week we'll be on the road, Georgetown Eastview. It is a 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll go on the air 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff next week. Murray in shotgun. Man goes in motion. Now resets up. Hand on what was
illegal procedure.
As you said, got to make sure you don't make those mental mistakes, and we do on the first play. And that is just a mental error, just moving before. So that moves it back 35-yard line to the 30.
There is a lot of sitting there and waiting with emotion and coming back and then being still, and so the linemen are having to sit in there a while.
1st and 15. They're going to hand it off to Kasner. But there's just not a lot of space inside. We're just kind of moving up in there. There's not a real quickness or crispness to it.
No.
2nd down and 14, a gain of 1.
It looks kind of like a rugby scrimmage on some of those.
I mean, there's not a hole to find, and everybody just kind of standing up. 2nd down and 14 from the 31. Kasner to the left of Murray. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 8:49 to go in the ball game. Clock runs. Bulldogs lead by 3. Murray to throw. Has time. Gets the catch. It's made at the 42-yard line. Good throw. Is it Stanford? Stanford got a nice spot in the zone there. He just kind of stopped, and Murray hit him there for a gain up to the 43-yard line. So that is a 12-yard gain, 3rd and 2. So you put yourself in a good spot here. Pick up the first down. Keep the clock running. It's 8:15 to go in the game. Murray had time and put it right on the money. 3rd down. It's going to be a keeper and still on his feet. It was Pimentel. Pimentel checked in, and he gets the first down to pass the 50 into Viking territory at the 48. That is an 8-yard gain. 7-yard gain, we'll call it. 1st and 10. Most importantly, it moves the chains. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Now, I don't think they need to slow down, keep it at a good pace, but they aren't in a hurry either. 7:45 to go in the game. Clock runs, lead 20-17 to the Bulldogs. 1st and 10. Viking 48-yard line.
One of the things we haven't seen much from the offense is when they get the defense set and then look over and I'll finish that thought here in a second.
Murray gets the snap, hands it off to Kasner. Able to find a little room. Spin move, still on his feet, past the 40 down to near the 36-yard line, and it'll move the chains. He picks up 11. Good run. There's that spin move, and he does that well. 11 yards on the run, 1st and 10.
But the Bulldogs used to, we saw a lot last year. They'd get to the line, get the defense set, and then they'd all stand and check, play call from the coaches. Haven't seen a lot of that.
I saw it once,
maybe once or twice.
Yes, but you're right. Good call there.
But maybe that was set, creates some time off the clock too.
1st and 10 at the Viking 37. Man goes in motion. Going to hand it off to Kasner on the delay. Good job of getting away from one ankle tackle. Still on his feet to about the 31-yard line. That's a solid 6 yards on 1st down. Clock runs under 6:40 to go in the game. 2017 Bulldogs lead.
A little bit like we saw last year with Kastner and Denton, where we could just eat up some clock and eat up some ground, and that's kind of what's happening here. That play didn't look too promising from the beginning, but Kastner really made a great play out of it.
Yep. And we got a timeout. Well, and it was something. Timeout here. We're going to go ahead and keep it here. Last year we did talk about the need sometimes, and we saw it happen, but the Bulldogs also at times didn't seem to be able to do that consistently. It's one game, I get that, but I do believe if you watch some of the last scrimmage and just looking at the team, one of the strengths that you hope is there, and it's always good for a team. Love to have all the skill players, but the line, a little more depth, and I think a little bigger and some experience. And that can help you in a situation like that. That's what you hope, because when it grinds down late in the game, can you keep the other team off the field if you've got a lead? That's a huge deal.
Yeah, that's where it starts. And, really, for the first time in a number of years, you can look at the line and say, we've got some size this year. You'd have to go back quite a ways to think of a line that is going to be as big as this one.
Yeah, I agree. 2nd down and 4 from the 31-yard line. Murray in shotgun. Going to hand it off, trying to get to the outside. Still on his feet that's not Coronado, though, is it?
It kind of ran like him.
Yeah, I thought it was at first. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, it was. Josiah Coronado, good run, gets the 1st down. He does have that kind of distinctive stride there at the last second. I'm sorry, I saw a different number, but that was Coronado, and he gets down to the 24-yard line. And that's a gain of 7, 1st and 10. And again, he's deceptive because he can turn the speed on, but again, he just takes his time to let that play develop and comes up with 7 yards around the outside. Trip receivers to the right. Coronado in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to him, this time up the middle, and not much room there, just lowers his shoulder. But this is what you want to there. Hold on to that football and push forward. Gets 2 to the 20.
I don't think they're giving him
anything. Back to the line. I'm sorry. Yeah, he was at the 24. Yeah, I thought he got hit in the backfield a little bit. I guess push forward.
But you're right. That's the key. He's got to hold on to that football.
Yeah. So 2nd and 10 from the 24. 5:06 clock continues to run. Bulldogs lead by 3. Coronado to the left of Murray. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, short side of the field. Now empty backfield. To throws it out to Coronado. He has to make a man miss. He does one, and he really got away from a second one to be able to get anything. I think he picked up a yard or two because he was in the backfield. He had gone in motion. They throw to him. We're going to give him a yard for all that work. 23-yard line. I'll give him a yard. Oh, it's still at the 24. Goodness. All right, no gain. But, yeah, that took a while to develop.
It did, and that seemed like a dangerous play. In fact, I'm not sure that the coaches were looking for that pass at that point.
It is 3rd down and 10. Coronado to the left of Murray. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Murray in shotgun. 4:08, clock runs in the game. To throw, Murray throws it out, batted up in the air, and almost intercepted. And there, the pass was in a hurry, but there was where you see the talent of Griffin. That was Cedric Griffin, the junior, and he able to get a hand on it, knock it down, 4th down and 10. And then it was up in the air. Another defender for him had a chance at it. That stops the clock at 4:02. Bulldogs are going to go for it on 4th and 10. Big 4th down here if they could somehow keep the drive alive. They're at the 24-yard line. Murray in shotgun. Man goes in motion. Gets the snap. He's going to throw. Has a man to the end zone, and it is almost intercepted. Should have been by Coughlin.
Well, he wanted to, but he shouldn't have. That would have been – they're going to get better field position by not intercepting that. But he had him. He was wide open.
That pass was underthrown, and it just didn't quite get there. And because they did have the receivers in the end zone. It's incomplete, and it will be, as you said, give them better field position. So there's a situation. 3:55 to go in the game. Bulldogs can't put points on the board. They lead 20-17, and it will be 1st and 10 for Lago Vista at their own 24-yard line. So a little drama here late in the game.
Putting it in the defense's hands to win.
Henderson in shotgun, pistol formation. They're going to hand it off, and he's hit hard. Good job. It was, I'll have to look again to make sure I say it, Rambula. He's back in the ball game, but the Bulldogs did a good job, maybe 1.5 yards. 2nd down and 9. Clock runs 3:33 to go in the game. Henderson in shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. He's going to throw in the pocket. Still has time. Now pulls it down to run. Makes one man miss, still on his feet. Gave up ground. Ball comes out. Bulldogs cannot get on it. The ball has been out there for both of these teams at different times.
I think he was down.
They might have been down?
And they were marking him down right there.
Okay, so.
But he still gets the first.
He did get the first. I mean, they had him in the backfield. They had coverage downfield, and he showed that ability again to the 34, so picks up just enough. 1st and 10. Clock is running. Under 3 minutes to go in the game. 20-17. Bulldogs lead by 3. Going to be a nail-biter for season opener here. 2 receivers to the right. Henderson in shotgun. Pistol formation. Snap back. Looks to throw. They come in. Can they get him? They knock him down. Yes, at the 33-yard line. Good coverage downfield.
2 timeouts left for Lago Vista.
Clock running.
They're not going to use one here.
He gets back to the line of scrimmage. 34 at 2nd down and 10. They're not moving real fast, and you can tell they're tired on that first game. Both sides. 2:19 to go. 2nd and 10 at their own 34-yard line. Bulldogs lead by 3, 20-17. Trying to get a opening game victory. Snap back to Henderson. Has time. Now has to pull it down. Still looking. Throws it deep. Up for grabs. And
no way he caught that.
He caught it. And again, we just misplayed it a little bit. Morton was behind the defender waiting, and then Morton goes up and catches it. That's a tough catch.
Wow. That's a great catch.
It's like we're better off interfering there. You got to get into the player. So it is 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. 1:53. Clock runs again now that the clock started, but it's at the Burnett 25. Huge. 2 big pass plays come in tonight. 1:44. Clock runs. Henderson in shotgun. Man goes in motion. Snap back. Pressure setting up the middle screen, and the catch is missed, or he might have been able to go. They set it up nicely. Our lineman came through, but Rambula could not catch it through his hands. 2nd and 10, 1:32 to go.
Yeah, very fortunate for the Bulldogs that he dropped that. He would have run a while.
2nd and 10 at the Burnett 25. 1:32 to go. 20-17, Bulldogs lead.
Time
Vikings
for a defensive play.
need one of those get on the ground and us cover it. Pistol formation. They hand it off up the middle. Arambula. Oh, a good tackle in open field. He does pick up good yards. Did they stop the clock? Nope, still running. He gets down to they don't want to leave any time.
I don't think they're going to stop it.
Yep. 18-yard line. It's 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3. Get in the backfield. Knock them for a loss. 1:10 to go. Pistol formation again. Trip receivers to the right. Going to hand it off up the middle. Arambula again with the carry. He just got the first down. Picked up about 3 yards, 3 yards. He's at the 16. Good enough for – no, they say 4th down.
I think he's 4th down.
All right, 4th down.
And they're going to –
the clock still runs. It is 4th down at the 16-yard line. Thought they gave him more than that. They did not.
They're
going to kick him.
No.
No.
Here's the play. Here's where they scored last
Griffin.
time.
Snap
They moved.
back to Griffin.
He moved.
But they didn't call it, but Griffin makes the first down. But they did move. He gets hit hard, but he gets the first down with 26 seconds. That stops the clock to move the chains, and now they call a timeout. You know what? I don't think I'll take a break here. We'll just see what. 26 seconds go. Lago Vista timeout. They're playing it for the win here. They score here at the end. They're going to win the ball game. If they don't, Bulldogs can hold on. So 26 seconds. Bulldogs lead 20-17. Where is the ball? 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line? Yes.
Yeah, 14.
14 yards away from victory or defeat. Now this is, you bring out all those cliches at this point.
It's just so unfortunate we couldn't connect on that touchdown. I guess decided we're going to try to win it on defense, and the defense is going to have to step up big here and have some kind of a fantastic miracle play.
Arambula has had to me the better night overall.
Yeah.
I mean,
no
now
doubt.
you had Griffin, but he hasn't touched the ball a whole lot, and
No.
so they did it there when they need him. Do they go to him now? But I can see him still trying to run it. They have one timeout left, but that's the only thing is you run the ball. If we tackle them in the field of play, but with that one extra timeout.
They have one left.
1st and 10 from the 14, so they could get a first down at about the 4. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Bulldogs lead by 3. We're ready for play. Henderson in shotgun. He's going to throw. Has time. Middle of the field. Catch is made for the touchdown. It's to number 2, Morton. Morton's had a big night for him. 21 seconds left. 21 seconds left. Makes it 23-20. And they'll go for the 1 extra point to the 1 point extra point to make it a 4-point lead. So with 21 seconds left in the ball game, it was a 14-yard pass, and he had time in the pocket. Henderson to Morton. There's the extra point attempt. Snap is back, and it's no good. No good. It was no good.
Leaves the door open.
Yeah. If you could get in, now we've had some big kickoff returns. Let's see what they do. 21 seconds. We do have all 3 timeouts. It's 23-20. So that's the first thing you need to know. 23-20. Burnett has all 3 timeouts. They trail by 3. What do you do on their kickoff? If they kick it deep, do they take that chance? Because we've had good returns. You get us to the 50 with 15 seconds and 3 timeouts, you give yourself a chance.
But they don't want to kick it short either, so I think they'll kick it deep.
So Lago Vista led in the first half. Bulldogs took the lead in the third quarter, had some opportunities to extend it, couldn't. Lago Vista scores with 21 seconds to go in the ball game. And now the Bulldogs looking for a miracle finish. Well, it had that real lull in the middle where all kinds of craziness, but overall that both teams really fighting hard, trying to find ways. The Bulldogs need to have one more in them if they want to come away with the victory. They'll tee it up. Moore will tee it up.
They're going to probably squib this and bounce it on the ground a little bit.
It doesn't start, though, till we touch it.
But that gives him a little more time to get there.
And he kicks it high and deep. Going to be returned from the 10. Bulldogs looking for a seam. Lowers his head, gets to about the 26, 27, but they Stanford, but 16 seconds, 5 seconds went off. That was that's good for Lago Vista. They were glad to have that work out for them. It's at the 26-yard line. Bulldogs trail by 3. So they got to look big plays. They do have 3 timeouts, so even a first down stops the clock, but they had some success deep middle, and I think that's where you're going to have to go to try to open it up and get a big play. 23-20.
I wonder if you've practiced some kind of a hook and ladder at this point.
Yeah.
You know, just to create a pass and some space and get a guy on a run.
Yep.
But
and now you're taking a risk. You're going to have to try to get it. You might do one play, 16 seconds with timeouts.
Yeah, you have a timeout to use.
Run some kind of, if you think, because they're going to be backing off.
Or you could throw it anywhere.
Yeah, you're right.
You could throw it in the middle of the field and get you a timeout
play
quickly.
soft. Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're going to have to throw it at least twice just to be able to get it to the end zone on a Hail Mary. So
Bulldogs put 3 receivers to the left. That's the short side of the field. So they are stacked and the slot there. Snap back. They throw it on the little kind of screen play, and he's trying to break tackles, Kasner, and that's not helping.
Taking up clock.
And Bulldogs do stop it at 8 seconds, so I'm not sure. They had the blockers in front, but nobody seemed to block there either, and it was the short side of the field, just nowhere to go. So it's down to 8 seconds. That used 8 of the seconds up, and it's 2nd down and 10. Well, if you got the trick play, now's the time.
This would
Wait, now something happened there. What? They moved it up to the 30.
How did we get a gain on that?
And they moved it back to 9 seconds. They had a penalty. They must have.
Yeah, it's a 5-yard penalty on something.
All right, so they're at the 31-yard line. Bulldogs still a long way to go. They trail 23-20. Throw it out. Catch is made by Williams, and he steps out of bounds with 5 seconds. Murray to Williams. It's the 37-yard line, so a gain of 10. 13. Where were they? Oh, no, it was 31. Gain of 6. 1st and 10 at the 38, but now only 5 seconds left in the ball game. Bulldogs use one of their timeouts. So we're down to probably one last play here, unless a penalty, because anything down the field's going to take up 5 seconds to set up and be able to throw. Bulldogs 20, the Lago Vista Vikings 23.
Brownwood Wiley was eventually canceled for some reason, maybe weather conditions.
Must have been weather, yeah. That's some around.
Late in the 4th quarter, Lampass is still 30-21 over Fredericksburg. Stephenville is going to dominate Midlothian Heritage 35-3, and Marble 43-0 over Austin Crockett.
So, one last play here for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs will have 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. No, they're still deciding. Now it's 2 receivers on the right, 2 to the left, short side of the field. Murray. Empty backfield. Last play of the game, most likely.
You believe in miracles here?
He throws middle of the field. It's caught by Kasner, still on his feet.
You got to pitch
Clock
it.
is run out, and that'll end the ball game at the 50-yard line. Get to the 50, a 13-yard gain. But that will end the ball game as the Bulldogs fall 23-22 the Vikings. So a game back and forth, but the Bulldogs couldn't score in that 4th quarter when they had a couple of chances. The Vikings score late, able to pull off the victory. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We come back. We'll wrap it up from here. Game 1 of the season, the Bulldogs fall to 0-1. The Lago Vista Vikings go to 1-0. It is a 23-20 victory for the Vikings over the Bulldogs on KMPN 95.9 FM, BTXSportsOnline.com.
Hi, this is Pastor Greg Mott with your Difference Maker moment. Let me ask you an unusual but obvious question. Who do you love? The people around you? Your friends and family? Your Christian brothers and sisters? People you agree with? I bet most of us would say that these are the easy people to love. Jesus says in Matthew chapter 5 that we are also to love our enemies. This astounded the religious leaders of his day. But Jesus made it clear that he came to love all people, including the unrighteous and the sinner and even the tax collector. So who's your enemy? The people who cut you off in traffic? The one who never responds to your messages? That rude person behind the counter? What about those that are different from you in ethnicity and religion and culture? We can choose to love, though, because Jesus chose to love us. Sure, it can be a difficult thing, but it is part of his plan. And think of the heavenly impact we can have by showing the love of Jesus Christ to all people.
For more about Pastor Greg Mott and how to be a difference maker, visit beadifferencemaker.org.
Mark Edmondson back with you live along with Roy Kaiser. Appreciate you joining us tonight. Bulldogs fall 23-20 to Lago Vista. Back and forth ball game. Lago Vista able to get that final score at 21 seconds. Again, thanks to Damon Byerly, our audio feed through the video feed of the Vernon Athletic YouTube channel. Thanks for that. All the home games will be doing that. Also, of course, thanks to Chad Nelson with KMP, BTXSportsOnline.com, and then KMPN Dan with us tonight. We'll be sending it on down the line here in a little bit, Dan. So we're going to do some stats here in a minute, and then we'll be wrapping it up. And saw another, as you keep working, so I'll come in here with Coach Gates. Appreciate that, Coach Gates, of course. Now, it's Burke Burnett.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
Correct. He couldn't get Burnett out of his system, so he went to Burke Burnett.
Coach.
But, yeah, I miss my hall buddy. We taught across the hall from each other, and there's nobody over there, Coach Gates, so it's just me holding down that end of the hallway. So we miss you.
I moved up a little bit. I'm in the hallway now a little further. So
That's true.
But it's not the same, I know.
You move around too much.
That's true. That is true. But great. Thank you for the checking in with us, Coach Gates, and best of luck to you. Of course, all your success here. Hope that continues with you, and appreciate your friendship all these years. You ready for the stats?
Yes, sir. All right. Through the air, Murray was 15 of 20 for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. And receiving those passes, the most tonight would be Williams with 4 catches for 61 yards and 1 touchdown. Sanchez, 4 catches for 18 yards and 1 touchdown. And then Stanford and Kastner both with 1 catch, 6 yards and 13 respectively. On the ground, 2 running backs with 55 yards on 10 carries. According to my notes here, Kastner and Coronado, both with solid nights on the ground. Pimentel with the rushing touchdown with 5 carries and 30 yards. He had a good night. Murray had 3 carries with 9 yards, and Stanford 2 carries for 28, and Pimentel had the extra point.
Would like to say we are at the top of the hour. We do appreciate you listening to Burnett Bulldog Football on KMPN Burnett. So the Bulldogs fall 23-20. It's one of those. You want to win games, so first game of the season, it is. But when you're close, you have a chance. You learn some things, and that I know that's what they're going to take away from it. But this will leave a little bad taste in the mouth. The Bulldogs, this Lago Vista team, no doubt, has some talent and stuff. But you kind of felt like there at the end, that last quarter, the Bulldogs had a real chance to put this away and get a win, and just couldn't do it. And you want that. You want that to get the mentality. And I think that's they did lose a lot of seniors. And so where do you replace that leadership, that finish, and talent too?
Yeah, and that's, as a coaching staff, that's what you ask for, a chance to win. The Bulldogs had it, just couldn't get it in the end zone, so that put it on the defense. And honestly, a ton of talented players for Lago Vista, but I was really impressed with Morton. And on the pass play to Morton where he got behind our defenders, the Henderson was looking for Griffin in the middle, and Griffin was covered and didn't make any extra effort to get open, but Morton did, and he found him. And so kudos to Henderson for finding him.
Yeah.
And so, you got Morton and Aaron Beulah with really solid nights. Quarterback did a great job. So they have a good football team.
I was impressed with his, just the way he ran the team and the option and getting out of trouble when he did and made a few mistakes. But I thought he was really seemed poised. He was, directing the traffic when it needed to be. And that's important if you're running whatever it is, obviously, but an option kind of offense. So, the good team. And so the Bulldogs have some things to work on, but they showed really showed some ability. We saw some of that who might step up and fit in a role or something because they're going to need that, and they're going to continue to do that. But it is still very early on, obviously, and so they'll have a lot to work on. But a good competitive game to start the season. And we will be back on the air next week. Do appreciate Dan back at KMPN, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up from here. Again, thanks to all of you for listening, wherever it might be. We'll be back on the air a little early next week. Pre-game is 6:30. Kickoff 7 for next week's game against Georgetown Eastview on the road. The Bulldogs fall to 0-1 on the season as they fall to the Lago Vista Vikings 23-20 on KMPN 95.9 FM and BTXSportsOnline.com. Thank you and appreciate you joining us. Look forward to a great season with you after tonight. Thank you and good night.
And thanks for listening to tonight's special presentation of Burnett Bulldog High School Football at 95.9 FM, KMPN, Burnett. This game has been produced exclusively through Camp and Isle of Marble Falls, which is celebrating over 70 years of camping ministry in the Marble Falls area, and the KHCB Network. We hope you'll join in next time for more of the action of Burnett High School football, brought to you by Mark Edmondson and Roy Kaiser. We now join our regular programming already in progress. Thanks for listening.